get to see a lot of youngsters.
Good evening, all.
Good evening, Karna ma'am.
Hi, Sahiba.
Yeah, another youngsters have joined.
Doctor, we are live now, doctor.
My God.
Yeah, fine. So we'll.
Yes, thank you. So good evening, everyone. Good evening and warm welcome to all our fraternal members for this webinar on TNOA Thursday. As you all know, this year's theme is Together We Grow Towards Excellence, and we are taking every step to help our members in the journey towards excellence. As the president of TNOA, it is both an honor and a privilege to extend a warm welcome to the team TNOA MC members, esteemed panelists for today's webinar, and our dynamic young ophthalmologist team, your team, the distinguished speakers, and all the participants and delegates who have joined us today, this evening. The theme of our session, Towards Excellence, Optimizing Social Media for Ophthalmic Practice, is not only relevant, but also crucial in today's digital age. Social media presents a unique platform for ophthalmologists, not only ophthalmologists, but also all medical professionals to share knowledge, to build professional network, and enhance the visibility of our practice, as well as our personal and institutional brand building. So by effectively utilizing these tools, we can foster not only brand building and personal branding exercise, but also we can reach out to the community in a big way about eye health, about public health, about wellness, educate the public on preventive measures, and showcase the latest advancements in medicine as well as ophthalmic care. So this is the relevant theme that will really help us towards excellence. So our expert panelists and speakers today, each are an expert and luminary in their field, will provide insights into leveraging the social media to enhance patient engagement, care, satisfaction, and every aspect of our uh, public outreach services. And special mention about this young ophthalmology team. The committee has been doing a wonderful job since we started in August 2023. They are bringing fresh perspective and also making a significant impact online. So not only online, but also offline. We did have wonderful meetings, and this online impact is astounding because many of the webinars have crossed 1,000 touch points and going towards this particular milestone. And this session, I'm sure, promises to be an enriching experience, providing strategies for our digital presence and ultimately patient outcomes. So I'm confident today's session will equip our members with the knowledge to excel in the digital realm, allowing us to uphold the high standards of eye care delivery that TNOA stands for. So let us use this 2 hours plus to learn, engage, and grow together. I'm sure the speakers will do a wonderful job of sharing their experience and expertise in this field. So I welcome the chairperson, Dr. Kalpana Suresh, and Dr. Vanaja Vaidyanathan. So they are excellent and experts in their own field. Especially Kalpana has been doing a wonderful job educating the public on various aspects of eye care. And Vanaja, both online and offline presence, have been doing a wonderful job in and around Pondicherry. And we have the senior ophthalmologist panel, Dr. Ravi Shankar and Lalit Kumar. So they are again experts in their own right. I'm sure they will share their experience to the benefit of the audience. And welcome the moderators, the dynamic chairman of your team, Dr. Nishant, Dr. Karthikeyan, and convener Dr. Prasanna, who has been instrumental in bringing out this program. Also welcome the young ophthalmic panelists and of course the speakers. Dhruval, I just went on to their social media. I've been doing a wonderful job, especially Vinod, Shruti in the pediatric area, Dr. Shahiban, Dr. Maitri, Dr. Akshay Nair has been wonderful in the journal aspect and also the power of imaging, and Dr. Koheli. I'm sure this team will rock and we'll have a wonderful 2-3 hours of learning. And it will be a useful resource not only for people who are attending this session, but also a wonderful resource for all the practicing ophthalmologists across India and practicing medical professionals. So with these words, I welcome all of you for this webinar and hand over the proceedings to the moderators of this session. Over to you, Nishant and Prasanna.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, like always, we are always planning to do something different. Thanks from all the go from President of TNOA, and I welcome you all. So without further ado, I think Prasanna, should we have some input from Chairperson?
So,
Dr. Kalpana.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So, good evening all, and thanks, President, for this wonderful opportunity. And it's, as already mentioned, it's a very different theme and which will attract a lot of viewership. And now having a social media presence goes beyond having a profile. So it means creating a lot of content with your own originality and at the interest of your patients or clients. So it builds a lot of trust. And once you're done, yeah, one step closer to the patient. You can gain their trust. And in some cases, you can convert them to your patients also. So as ophthalmologists, we should take very strong advantage of these platforms. There are plenty of them. We are going to listen to each one of them in their expert fields. And this can be used to create awareness about the eye diseases and disseminate information, whatever you want to share, communications, and also make them integrate the eye health as a part and parcel of your daily life. So without much ado, I can...
Yes, ma'am. Vanuja, ma'am, a few words from you before the...
Warm greetings to all. At the outset, I congratulate Team TNOA and Team Young Ophthalmologist Task Force. And my very special thanks and congratulations to the President of TNOA, Dr. Nirmal, for initiating all these wonderful programs. Today's program towards excellence, optimizing social media for ophthalmic practice is especially a very, very needed topic in this digital era. Earlier, we used to have the term social marketing. So social marketing was there for a very, very long time back. And there were a lot of debates about plus and minus of it. Today, we have the social media where young people are really doing excellent, taking excellent advantage of this social media for growing practice, for educating the public and also patients. So I think today's topics are all very interesting for all ophthalmologists, young to old, and it's going to really be very, very useful for us. So thank you, Dr. Prasanna, for the opportunity given to me to be the co-chair. And thank you all.
Before we go to the first speaker, Dr. Ravi sir and Lalit sir, a few words from you before we start the evening.
Ravi, you can start, Ravi.
Yeah. Okay, since
In English, Ravi.
Since the president himself has enlightened us on everything on social media, and probably I admire Dr. Kalpana Suresh, seeing her presence in the social media, and I learn a lot from her. For me, social media started way back 18 years back when I did my first TV show, a live TV show on Sun TV. And probably that time, once the TV show finished, I had 18 phone calls the same day, and probably 7 patients coming next week. So social media is definitely a great plus point for the younger ophthalmologist. and let us see what they talk and learn ourselves. And probably I'll do justice in probably saying a few points to others to. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I would just like to say that everybody has so many things. I'd just like to say that consistency is one of the most important things when it comes to social media marketing. See, I also did a lot of marketing, but everything was for a short term, 3 months. I wouldn't see any results, and I will just change to some other media. So one thing which I learned from all these mistakes is whatever you do, do it consistently. Whether it is YouTube marketing or whatever you do, whether it is TV interviews or newspaper, this thing marketing, just be consistent, because it takes a very, very, very long time for you to reach the patients and the patients to reach back to you. So that's the only message I want to convey.
Thank you, sir. So before we go to the talk,
Thank you.
a few words on the Yo Task Force activities that we have done. So is my screen visible to all?
Yeah, Prashna.
Yes, visible.
So this is, as President Nirmal sir told, it was started in August 2023 last year. And these are our members. Apart from me and Nishant sir, we have a dynamic 6 members of Niranjan, Karthik, Prithvi, Anujit, Pranesh, Shirika, and Karthikeyan, who is also the moderator of this. And we have a good advisory panel of seniors from Nishant, Manoj sir, Vinod sir, who's also talking on that, and a national advisor of Aarti, Digvijay, and Sonal ma'am. So this was our first activity on innovations, which garnered 979 plus views, which was a metamorphosis on innovations. With the success of that, we had a second capsule, which again garnered a much amount of patenting that the innovators or the young ophthalmologists wanted, where Shiven sir enlightened us along with our own Pari sir. And the third was on fellowships, horizons and beyond from our own teachers, which was the highest milestone achieved as of now. The capsule 3 chaired by Vijay Raghavan sir, and the capsule 4 again another one towards career guidance is something that we took over, and we also brought in an international panel by Dr. Naim Azim sir, who joined us from abroad. And then this was the one that happened during the FICO exam time, which was hot and happening last month. And this is where we are today with the total milestones of 5,500 plus of all the previous 5 webinars, and hopefully we'll cross 6,000 today. So thank you, dear all, for joining once again, and looking forward to a very fruitful discussion. So moving to the first speaker, Nishant sir, would like to call you the first speaker.
Yes.
Karthik, can we have the slides?
Hi. So our first speaker who starts will be Dr. Dhruval Khurana. So he finished his master's from the Mahatma Gandhi Medical College and Research Institute, did his BR fellowship from Arvindai Hospital, Chennai, also won SBB Medal for Excellence in Ophthalmology, Best Paper Award in AGOS Conference, third rank in Best Paper, and 4 image publications in AAO Library. And he also invented the OmniView AS and OmniView PS. So he's going to talk to us about how to make your presence effective on social media. Because I think it's not just being on social media which is important, but as he rightfully said, to make a presence. We'd like to hear it from you, Doctor.
Good morning, sir. Sorry, good evening, sir. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. So I will be talking on the topic how to make your presence effective on social media from a resident's perspective. So the first point is that why social media is important. So it gives you a wider audience reach, and you can educate patients, residents, fellow colleagues, interns, all medical professionals, even general population, and build a professional network. You can promote your brand. So after you gain few followers, like I had these 2 adapters, so I promote them on my channel, and I even do promotion nowadays for Dr. Saurav Sharma, and he takes lectures for PG ophthalmology on DEMS. So I promote lectures for him also. So you can make your social media tool as an earning tool also. So now the first thing is choosing the right platform. So there are so many platforms over here, but why I chose Instagram? So the first point is that it is feasible for the content creator and the audience both. Plus, because of the integration of Facebook and Instagram, whatever you post on Instagram will be posted on Facebook. And Instagram is most commonly used among all medical students, especially, and even in general population. Brand collaboration is also very easy and promotion is also very easy. Now, to set up for YouTube, being a resident, it will be very difficult to arrange for cameras, tripods, editing tools, and with the constraint of time, you can't do so many things. And the rewarding time is also too long in YouTube. So personally, I chose Instagram for that reason. And LinkedIn is a good option for working professionals, but not for growing your social media very fast. Twitter, you can even earn, but you have to buy a blue badge. So at last, my take was on Instagram. Now, first of all, the first thing is to know your target audience. So whom are you targeting? Are you just targeting ophthalmologists? Are you just targeting medical students, professionals, or even general population you want to target? If you wider the audience reach, wider will be your reach on any social media. Then the second point is understand what content resonates with them. I have seen many people, I like on Instagram, they just go on posting lazy videos. Every day there will be some same video with some new song. So it doesn't work like that. You have to post everything. Like you have to post fundus photos, you have to post some articles, you have to share, like it should be a packed content. You can't just go on posting one thing. And Instagram is all about entertainment, so you always have to add. Now if you want to use it as an educational tool, you need to add some fun to it. No one is interested in seeing educational stuff again on social media, so you have to give it in a packed form so that they like it. So in between, like this side, there is a meme that says that how an uh, resident reacts when he causes PCR in the surgery. So, and here is also one of the meme in which Dharma PGs are telling that we do emergency duties, and their HOD is making a reel in her this thing in her cabin. So some funny memes or some kind of engaging content you need to give. The third point is create an engaging content. Use eye-catching videos and images. Now, do not post something which is very unique in the starting. What will happen is that no one will understand it first of all. Icing is good for decoration, but not to cake the make itself. Like you can't make a cake out of icing. You need to make the cake first. Then you should use the icing for decoration, and all these things. Posting very peculiar pictures in starting will not yield you followers for sure. Then you should encourage interaction through poll, quizzes, and contests, and even some Instagram influencers do even giveaways also. Now, there is a key to make a video go viral. First thing is you should establish a regular posting schedule. If you are posting a video, posting reels or post twice a week, post twice a week, thrice. Maintain a frequency. Plus, there should be no crowding. Crowding means you should not post 5 6 videos. Today you are free, so you have decided that I will post 5 videos all together on one go. No, it will not work like that. Plus, there is an insight to your Instagram analytics where it shows that when your followers are maximum active. Suppose they are active at 3 p.m., you should post it at around 2:30. So that is where the time comes, that at what time in a day you should post the video. Plus, these things are very much governed by the trending songs which are being used. So use trending songs. There is an option also nowadays in Instagram to boost post. Now, boosting post, you can't post randomly any post. You should boost post. Boost post means, just for knowledge, that you are paying Instagram some money so that they will promote on your behalf. But that also will work if something is viral about it. If it is not a viral post, anything won't work. You will just end up losing your money, and you will just gain 5 or 10 followers from that. Now I will show you 3 different posts and what is the difference between all of them and how they went viral. So here is one photo in which eyelash is there inside the AC. So this patient came to our OPD 10 days back. Now this, in 10 days, it has got 6 lakh, more than 6 lakh views. The thing about this video is that the condition which is described, it is adequate. It is described in 4 words, so everyone can understand it. Then a trending Tamil song which was going on nowadays, it was used in this, and now anyone can correlate with this post. Anyone can see and understand, even a general population, that something is wrong with this eye. Now, when I come to the second post, it is written OSSN, which is too short. Now, if being an intern or if being an first year MBBS student, I won't understand this. So first of all, I will go and Google it. Now, no one has time to Google, and even if they have time, they are not interested. So you have to give something which is very much interesting to them. Now, here in last post, it has got 9,000 views. Now, there is too much of data written over here, which is again no one is interested to read. So your post should be adequate, like the caption should be adequate. It should not be too long or too short. Fourth thing is, you can collaborate with your like-minded people and engage with them, and you can cross promote their content, and you can cross promote your content. Like that, it happens as a barter system on Instagram. We all do that. Now, utilization of hashtag. So that is also very important. Never just put an hashtag ophthalmology. No, it is not adequate. Always put a wider hashtag to reach a wider audience. Use hashtag MBBS, hashtag NEET PG, hashtag PG preparations. There are many hashtags available. Use something which is much more wider so that it will reach to everyone. And you can create your own branded hashtags. Like I use my branded hashtag, like hashtag mad for office. Now engage with your followers. You have to, if they come, if they ask you something in comments, you have to answer to them. You can encourage discussions, and you can reply to them also personally if they have any doubts. Seventh point is promote patient testimonials that everyone does nowadays, before and after photo. I won't say much about it. Eighth point is analyze performance metrics. So there is nowadays there is an analytic metrics available on Instagram, in which you can see that which content has gone viral, which, like, you will yourself identify that why it has gone viral. So use those insights to refine your social media strategy. Now, what strategy I used when I started my residency? I had an innovation in my mind about adapters. So what I did was, I developed skills to capture the images. Then I made an Instagram channel. I started posting the clinical pictures and videos of that, and I even published those images in AO Library and other platforms. In meantime, I developed the adapter which I had in my mind. So by doing all of the above steps, I created a want in the audience, or I can tell a desire, that you can also do the same. And after doing all of these things, finally a time came when I had 8,000 followers. I launched my own adapters and I started selling it, and I sold more than 15 to 20 adapters. And after that, when more followers I gained, I started promoting for others. Like for my senior, I told that Dr. Saurabh Sharma, he's from AIMS, so he does a course on PG ophthalmology lectures. And many other brands also have approached me, but it depends on you that what content resonates with you and what you want to promote. So my journey was to sell skill by converting into an innovation. So that is what I did. Conclusion: stay creative, stay active, stay creative, stay responsive. And as a content creator, never open social media in your free time. Spend active hours to grow your channel. And above all, you should have a joy of doing all these things. Without joy, it won't give you any result.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much.
Kalpana ma'am, can we have your comments now?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Dhruv. It's a wonderful insight into mainly the Instagram, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
you can hear, right? On and off, it's
Yes,
going
ma'am.
offline. Okay.
You're audible, ma'am.
So
It's
it
clear,
took
ma'am.
audio is clear?
Yes,
Audio
ma'am.
is very clear, ma'am.
You people, you youngsters are very, very familiar with all these social platforms. We learned it a very hard way. For example, to differentiate between an Instagram story and a reel, it took a long time for me to understand the difference between the two. So It's like, my sincere advice will be to concentrate on one thing, and even if it's Facebook, it's okay. Now, I think it's little outdated as far as youngsters are concerned, but we are more familiar with the Facebook. What say, Dr. Vanaja?
Yeah, true, very true.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That
So-
was an excellent presentation, Dr. Dhruval Kurana.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate your innovations and your understanding of the social media to enhance your presence in the media. Very, very nice. Congratulations for that. And
And
really, I
when did
also
you
learned.
start, Dr. Doru? When did you start this channel, and how long it took for you to come to this level?
Ma'am, I started in my second year of MBBS. Even I like to say that Dr. Amrita, Dr. Anujit, all were my seniors, so I have learned from them also a lot. And then,
Very
yes, and from that, in my second year, I started basically. And all this innovation of adapters and all I had in my mind. But eventually, first, I had to develop all the skills to capture the images. So, in all of my videos, I have never used anything except a mobile, a 20D lens, and slit lamp. Apart from that, in my whole residency, I have never captured any other images using any other things. So first I developed that skill, and then I thought that how can this skill can be converted into an innovation and can be even commercialized, being a Gujarati. So so in so
Got
in
it.
that sense, yes. So in that sense, I arrived at it, and now like I have passed before 8 months. So now I will be joining as a fellow. So it has
Fantastic.
took me around two and 2.5 years, and I have 9,000 followers as for now.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
We'll see what which next platform I should target now. But as far as starting, I always feel that it should be started with Facebook or Instagram. It will be it will be the most easy thing, and you can get a lot of gain through that.
The most important thing is you just get it started. Get it
Yes.
started, and don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for
Yes.
a perfect capture of video or high quality or something. You just get it started, and the more and more you do, you'll become more familiar and you'll become more professional.
Yes.
If
And
you
you can
want to give a perfect video or content, you will keep on postponing it, and it never happens.
very true.
That's my sincere advice. And
Yes.
concentrate on one, and then move on to other platforms. Okay, I think we can move on
Yeah,
to the
without
second speaker.
procrastination, we should keep
Exactly.
doing it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
we'll go on to the
Ramesh
next
sir,
speaker, I think,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we're running short of time. 4 minutes each, isn't it? 4 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am. Karthik, can I have the slides in full? Yeah. So moving on to the next speaker. Thank you, Dhruv. And most of the innovators are coming from Pondicherry. And Pondicherry and MGMCRA, it serves a great alumni for a lot of innovations. Thank you, Dhruv. So moving on to the next speaker. Our own
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
From Trichy. So he's a glaucoma brother to me and a cataract surgeon. He has completed his MBBS from Sri Ramachandra University from 2003 to 2009. He's a MS from Kadalur Government Medical College. And he's a glaucoma fellow from Aravind Eye Hospital, Coimbatore. And he's a consultant. Also, he was at Aravind Eye Hospital, Coimbatore. He's a FECO trainer, trained many national and international candidates, was a faculty many international, national, and state conferences, a DNB teaching faculty, published in peer-reviewed journals, and he is now the current medical director, founding his own hospital, Vinod Eye Care Hospital, a glaucoma center of excellence in Trichy. So, Vinod sir, looking forward to hearing from you for the next few minutes.
Thank you, Tnoa, and thank you, Prasanna and Nishan, for this opportunity. And so I'll just start my presentation.
You can start sharing your screen.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, your screen is visible, sir. But you're not audible. Sir, you're on mute, Vinod, sir. Vinod, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, slides are visible.
Yeah, slides are visible, but it's not audible. Vinod, sir, can you hear me? Yeah, as the next speaker.
Am I audible now?
You're audible, sir, but
Yes.
now you're audible, sir. Requesting Dr. Koheli ma'am also to just be ready on standby in case Vinod sir is not able to connect.
Prasanna, I'll just put
Yeah,
my.
we'll go to the
I'll
next
just-
speaker, sir. Yeah. Karthik, can we have Dr. Koheli ma'am slides? Ma'am, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Karthik, can you introduce ma'am and we'll move to the next speaker. Dr. Karthik, can you introduce ma'am? Yeah. Okay, I'll introduce ma'am, Dr. Karthik. So ma'am is a pediatric ophthalmologist and a squint surgeon who has completed MBBS from GSMC and KEM Hospital, Mumbai. She's a gold medalist and a university topper in Goa University. Multiple viral Instagram reels crossing 2.5 to 3 million reels on Instagram, and she has crossed 1 million views on YouTube this month. So looking forward to hearing from you, ma'am. Do enlighten us the next few minutes.
Thanks. Can I share my screen? Let me see. Is this, can everyone see the screens? What is this one? Okay. Okay, great. So thank you, TNOA, and thank you, Nishant, for this opportunity. So my name is Dr. Koheli Bhattacharya, and I will be speaking on how to use the data from your social media to improve your patient care. So social media is just like conducting research, right? So as doctors, we love to read journals, we love to read journal articles. So evidence-based social media practices is just like research papers. It's all about being able to analyze the data, know which data is significant and relevant, and how the data can be useful and usable. So I'll try and share one point from each of these 3 points which I've shared, right? So why would you want to analyze your data? So the first reason is you have been posting on social media, but are not getting any reaction. By reaction, I mean is you're not getting any likes, comments, or follows. The second reason is you are posting and getting reactions, but not getting any traction, meaning you're getting likes and comments, but no patient turnover. The third reason is you're getting traction, but want to up level and up your game and scale your practice and presence. The fourth is to be able to enhance your consistency, your clarity. When I mean clarity, meaning your messaging towards your patients or towards the certain disease that you want to talk about, as well as your communication. Communication meaning how are people understanding your branding and your values. And also the last is because it's fun, right? We love data, we love analysis, we love our graphs and charts. So what is not data analytics? This is not data analytics. This is a graph from my YouTube page this month, where, as you can see, I had posted a video in 2022, and you can see it went from 0, and then it went viral, and we have over 3.5 lakh views in just a short period of time. This is not data analytics. This is vanity metrics. This is me saying, wow, I got so many views. This is of no use to me also. Like, I am not getting any information out of this. So let's talk about data analytics. Do not concentrate on likes and comments. Concentrate on reach. What do I mean by reach? Reach is the number of people a post reaches. So most people on social media, just like us, are silent observers and are just scrolling. But that doesn't mean that the information you shared did not influence them. It did. So reach of your post versus the reach of your stories, as Ma'am Kalpana mentioned, that, a lot of people get confused. Is a reel more important? Is a story more important? So every single thing that you put out on the social media will tell you the reach as well. So the number below your stories, right, is the reach, is how many people saw it. So your WhatsApp stories has reach, your Instagram stories has reach, your YouTube shorts has reach, right? So everything has reach, not just your posts which you post. So now the reach of your Insta stories and WhatsApp stories will be huge. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not a social media creator, I am scared of putting posts, I can't make reels. You don't have to. You can just say, today our clinic is closed, and that in itself is a social media message which you can post in your WhatsApp stories, and that is social media post. If you are having a 20% off on spectacles, or 20% off on glaucoma screening, or free glaucoma screening, or free diabetic eye screening, you can post it on your Insta stories and WhatsApp stories and see your reach grow. So there's a difference between views and reach. On WhatsApp stories, your reach is equal to your views. But on your reels will show you your views, meaning if one person has seen your reel 10 times, that's counted as 10 views, but 1 reach. So which is more important, views or reach? Reach is more important. You want to know how many individual people have you reached out to. So count the reaches, don't count the views or likes or comments or anything. Now, the second point I want to say is concentrate on shares. I know Dhruval before this shared how to go viral. So this is my top tip to go viral, right? When a post gets shared a lot, it has the potential to go viral. Virality does not depend on likes and comments. Oh, so many likes I got on this post that I went for this conference. Who liked your post that you went for AIOS conference and won, best paper, right? So one of my top posts on Instagram is when I got best, I think, paper award at AIOS a few years back. Of course, who were the people who were liking that post on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram? They were my family, they were my friends, they were my colleagues from my PG days, from my fellowship in Arvind, from all of that. But they were not going to add traction as patients. So you are not going to count that as a viral post, right? That is not a viral post. A viral post is something that is shareable. How many people shared it? So find out, again, share. It's very easy. In every single post that you have on YouTube, on Instagram, you can find out how many people shared it. So a shareable post is a viral post. So choose your post, reel or story. Even on stories, you can find out if it is being shared, right? You can go into your analytics. So choose a post, reel, story that has maximum share and then boost it. As I think Dhruval also mentioned, what is boost? Boost is basically you do a paid promotion. You pay Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anyone, a little amount to boost that post of yours, right? So it's already shareable. It has the capacity to go viral. When you do a paid promotion, this will give you the most value for the money you spend on boosting your post. So why do people share a post? This is what I have seen from my posts. If it's funny, if it supports a popular opinion, if it breaks a common myth, if it is a how-to guide, like how to do whatever, some kind of eye exercise, or it helps others, or if it's a group activity. But why do I want you to do your own data analytics is, why do people share your post? It could be different from my posting, right? Now, the last thing which I want to share is concentrate on your saved posts. So what we've talked about till now, reach and shareability. Now let's talk about saved posts. So go into your posts and see how many people have saved your post. This just means that your post, video, reel was so good that people want to come back to it again and again, and they found the information worth retaining, right? Not just worth sharing with others, but worth keeping, right? In a world where people have such less concentration, they want to keep this information. So what do you want to do is convert your saved posts into printable handouts as PDF for your online patients, or printed pamphlets in your clinic patients. So this is a top tip, so that this makes your post a value added product, which becomes part of your clinical care to your patients as well, because you now have the data that this is something that people really like, they really valued it. So even your OPD patients are going to feel really lovely when they get a pamphlet, when they get a printed handout, and this is what data can do for you. So thank you very much for your 4 minutes of time. This is a YouTube video of mine. If you want more information, how to grow your YouTube page as a doctor and an entrepreneur, this is available on my YouTube page, Dr. Koehli Bhattacharya. Thank you. I am open to having some questions.
Thank you, Dr. Koehli. That was a very nice and short script. So I've always been following you and your food trails as well, not to forget that. And I'd like to have a suggestion from Dr. Ravi Shankar, our SO panel.
Yeah, Nishan,
Doctor.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
She was actually breathless in her talk, the entire talk what she did. And the best part what I liked in that was she mentioned that all those likes are just likes which are going to be wasted. Likes or some shares which are going to be materializing into your footfalls are very, very important. That's one point which I appreciate in her talk, which I also partly learned, because you get thousands of likes. How many of those likes are going to be true, real, converted into your footfalls is very, very important. Good talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to share another thing. Just like I loved that Dhruval, being a PG student, said that he has a product, and how he grew his audience and then got his product in the market. And of course, I've not added it, but I have the iFit kit, and it is an eye exercise kit for patients. And we have seen over the last few years that growing to, and so another point which I just wanted to mention, don't think YouTube is going to pay you, or Instagram is going to pay you, or collaborators are going to pay you. Your own products and services, you are not an influencer. You are a doctor who uses social media. So there's a difference between that. So my iFit kit, as Dhruval mentioned, he's sold about 15 to 18 to doctors. And we did about 87 last year. And we went to almost all the 7 continents. We had patients from Australia and Singapore taking the iFit kit. We had Nigeria. We had a lot of people from Africa and Saudi Arabia interested in our iFit kit. And so this is another way that you can use social media.
So that was a wonderful presentation, Dr. Koehli. So you really showed us the importance of analysis. It's not just enough just to post your content. So data mining, it's very, very important. And this can be used to grow your channel. That's really wonderful. I learned a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. You're so welcome.
It will provide an insight as to what your audience like, what they want to see, and where they spend most of the time online. So you gave a very good insight on how to track the social media data for marketing. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. And I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. I wanted to keep it absolutely so that anyone who's never used social media can use these, tips and tricks.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
It's a very genuine talk. All of us really enjoyed it. Short and crisp.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll take a quick comment from the YO panel as well. Dr. Daivat, Dr. Aditya, Dr. Rithuja, who are all very active in social media with their respective fields. Dr. Anu, you guys can add your inputs. I think each one of you have your own, Dr. Aditya, in YouTube, Instagram. You guys are young pioneers in your own specialty wise. Do add your comments in the first 2 talks as well.
Yeah, so I think just to mirror what our first 2 speakers said, consistency is very important. Like just how the previous doctor mentioned, you really shouldn't be too upset if you're not hitting those views that you would expect to see in your YouTube videos. Maybe they'll have only a couple hundred views, maybe you'll barely touch 1,000. but you might still reach your target audience. For example, every now and then, I have a patient who walks into the OP for cataract surgery, and they already come in with a fixed mind. They said, no, don't bother counseling me. I already know what I want. I want a trifocal lens with toric to correct my cylinder. So, and then you'll be really surprised. Okay, so even though my views aren't that high, it is still reaching the person who needs to be reached. So I think consistency is key, regardless of the metrics per se. Of course, if you do have a professional guiding you, it also makes a lot of difference. You might not know exactly what to post, when to post, and how to post it. So if you can spend a little bit extra and have a team guide you, you can have a schedule. They come once a week or once every 2 weeks, shoot about 5, 6 videos at a stretch. You can spend 2 hours, and they post it on a regular basis. So when you do have the professional help, it really helps you to give it that extra boost to get the channel to as wide of audience as possible.
Thank you, Dr. Adit. Dr. Rituja.
Yeah, I'd just like to add one point because Dr. Koheli mentioned about converting to get patients. So it really helps to have a contact number or a WhatsApp number that they can use the message button also. But if they have a number that they can contact, especially for people overseas, sometimes they just text you on WhatsApp just to know what possibility of what kind of treatment is there for their condition. Sometimes they want to travel overseas and even come and get operated from you. So that's one thing that I wanted to say. And the other thing is, I just followed Dr. Koheli now from on Instagram. So I was just seeing that all the cover photos for the videos are very important because and this is something I learned very recently to add on to my Instagram, is that once a patient or once somebody comes to your profile and starts scrolling through your reels, if you have a nice cover which gives the title or kind of screams what it's about, then they'll probably open and you'll get more views or you'll get more conversions like that.
Dr. Aditya Sethi, Dr. Anu, you want to add some before Vinod sir gets ready?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me? All right. So I think everybody spoke beautifully. I would reiterate what ma'am said, that with Instagram, you don't have to worry about quality. Just go ahead and post. Another tip for Instagram that I have realized is if you break into the local language, like it could be Hindi or anything, so for YouTube also as well. If you can do a lot of videos in your regional language, that works very nice. And also get the subtitles. A lot of us watch Instagram on mute. So if you have subtitles out there, I think you can have more views and you can actually put a point across rather than doing just a funny act. Also, whatever you're going to do is going to be there forever. So be very careful that you can maintain it, and it is something that you want to resonate with later. So that content is also very important.
Thank you, Dr. Aditya.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Vinod sir, can we have your screen?
Yeah, I'm audible now?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
My screen visible?
Yeah, visible, sir. Yeah, moving on to the next talk. Shoot from the rooftop, social media to further your private practice. Yeah, welcome Vinod sir once again. Yeah.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you, Nishan, for the opportunity, and thank you, Nirmal sir. So, social media marketing. So nowadays, social media marketing is one of the key marketing where people are not very much aware about. So social media marketing involves how to advertise or what is the hashtag. So many people have so many queries regarding that. So I'll just brush up through in this 4 minutes. So the digital marketing where you have your brand. So you have to strategize how to plan and how to make it trend or how to advertise, through which you have to develop your brand, and which with the help of the social media support, you can reach your services through all the people. So it's a chain of reaction through which we can achieve by proper planning. So what is actually a marketing? It is activities and initiative that make you visible and grab your target customer's attention. And it is activities and initiative that make you credible and earn the trust and respect of the target customer. And you should make them to inquire and you should make them to walk in. by just if somebody sees your videos or post, they should grab attention and they should you should make them walk into your clinic. So what is the health digital marketing? Where already many speakers told Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where you can create your brand awareness and through which you can attract more patients, which impact will be very, very slow. As Lalitha told earlier, it will take long time. Immediately, if you create a profile today, within 1 week, you won't be seeing people coming through social because of the social media. Where initially the impact will be within your city, then the state, and then the country, where it takes a lot of time and lot of we have to patience to develop it. So what is the difference between the traditional marketing and the digital marketing? So the traditional marketing, where it is a wider market, a high budget, and it covers a wide audience. For example, if you're giving an ad in a newspaper for a quarter page newspaper for a in Tamil newspaper or English newspaper, it will be roughly around 45,000 to 50,000 on a Sunday or a Saturday. Whereas if you go for a digital marketing, it's a smaller budget. You can target the audience. It's a very niche market. So the people you can select and whom to target is the plus point of the social media marketing. So coming to the social media users in India, whereas in 2015 it's around 142 million, whereas in 2022 it's another 370 million, and India is one of the second among the countries who use the social media the most, where we use around 467 million people are using social media. So this is the tool for us to promote our practice or to reach our brand to all the people. Post COVID, many people are not using newspapers, whereas everybody is using the social media to browse. So you should use the tool to attract the crowd, engage, and convert them as a patient. So Facebook is the most popular choice, where it is a place for information sharing. So create a business profile in a base Facebook, and you can through that you can post your stories, reviews, or feedback, and regularly on posting your stories or reels or feedbacks, yeah, you can reach the patients, and through the boost we can increase the flow. So some of the posts which I want to share. So for example, this post which we did for the World Heart Day. Normally when we post for a World Heart Day, what we'll do, just we put a heart and say the World Heart Day. So what we did was, heart we should care about and heart what we usually care. So for this, we every month, myself and my team sit for 1 day for the month. We'll plan for what are the days we're coming this month, what are the days are there. So what innovatively we can do, how can we attract the audience, or what type of post will be more reaching. For this post, I got some 10 calls. Everybody appreciated the post. It was very nice and it was very attractive. Coming to the Google reviews also you can post on the Facebook so that people be able to connect. So how is your services? They can rate, see, and how will you're doing, so that they have an idea. So the crisp of how you should give the post should be very crisp, should be very not in detail, like previous speaker told. They should be able to connect themselves. In this post, you can see no suture, no injection, no pain. So it is very crisp. Even a layman can relate. If he put as MICS, robotic cataract surgery, the patient won't be able to connect. So no suture, no injection, no pain means, oh, they will be immediately attracted to it. So they just scroll within 3-5 seconds. So in that 2 seconds, you have to stop them and attract attention. So coming to the boost, just I want to briefly explain how do we increase the boost. For example, this boost we can do in Instagram. I select in my city, Tiruchirappalli. I can select the age of the audience, 18 to 65, 30 to 65. If I am posting ad regarding opticals, I will go for age group of 25 to 40. And whenever such people scroll, my ads will pop out. So coming to the economical aspect, for 1,000 rupees, you will be able to attract 2,400 to 7,000 people in 5 days. So, for example, 45,000 you're spending on a newspaper, you can cover a longer period and you can attract even more crowd, and the impact will be much more. And for example, if you give a cataract ad, in the paper, it will reach only certain stage of audience. Where here for opticals, you can create one ad. For cataract, you can create one ad. So it will reach a target audience easily, and the impact will be more. And we have seen a lot of positive results regarding this. So coming to the Twitter is not friendly. What is for the health information sharing? It is not as popular as Instagram or Facebook. Even myself not using Twitter regularly. And coming to the Instagram, where my profile I make as a Dr. Vinod Arunachalam and I keep as a Trichy eye doctor. So usually I post weekly price content. So the consistency of the post is most important one. Where when you post regularly, people see and come. For example, whenever I post to a trifocal lens, I put a happy patient, no more glasses. This is my caption. So whenever patient sees and comes, sir, on the post putting no more glasses, lens, they will ask, what is that lens? So that is an attract patients, that such option is there. So you have to post regularly regarding the photos and videos, and you should post your clinical facilities. I have put a full video of my infrastructure. So people say in Trichy we have such an infrastructure. When we see the reel only, we came to know like that. They say so. Whatever we have, we should portray on the social media. Whatever you do, it may be a simple mature cataract. You can post on the media. It may attract the audience. This is the perfect for mobile users and drives organic traffic to your website. Whenever they see, you give a link of your clinical website, so they may go and browse your website also. Coming to the last important thing, Google reviews. This is the double-edged sword. So I started my clinic 2 years back. Now we have 2,000 reviews for our clinic. So 2 years, 2,000 reviews is a very big landmark. So always, when I started in Trichy, people told Google reviews in Trichy, people see and come. Per day, I'm getting roughly 4 cases. They come by seeing Google reviews. We usually take the data whom patient by what source they came, either by referral by doctor or by friends or by Google reviews. Per day, usually I get 4 patients from Google reviews. So Google reviews is a double-edged sword. I understand it may go the other way also. So you have to be very careful, and the team should be very careful. So weekly we have a team meeting. We address all the Google reviews and see. For example, a patient wrote a Google review saying that I came for my mother's eye surgery 1 week back. The toilet lid was broken. I told the management when I came for the second eye surgery that it was corrected. I appreciate the team for the small caretaker. So people are very, very skeptical and noticing small things. So Google reviews is one of the factors you can fetch more patients, and always be organic. There are some agencies where they can create you fake Google reviews, 10 reviews per day, 20 Google reviews per day, where people are very clear. They know which is organic and which is inorganic. And be reliable and get a genuine reviews. Request for reviews. Whenever you see a patient, ask your staff to request a review. Sir, if you like our services, please rate us. Sometimes even I may ask, patient will say, your surgery is very beautiful. I can see very nicely. If you're so happy, if you write a Google review, I'll be very happy. I will say. Immediately they'll go and write. They may not write, either their son or daughters, immediately they will write. And if they post the Google review with the pictures, it will fetch more weightage for you. So always concentrate on Google reviews. It's a very tool which we should be not missing. And this is the QR code we usually have in all the places of our hospital. So people will be very lazy to go and write a Google review. So what we'll do is, so just use the QR code scanner and you can go to the Google page. So immediately they go and give a 5-star. We have around 2,000 Google reviews and all of them are 5 stars. We are happy to say that with the support of our team, we were able to do it. So drawbacks of it are there are security risks. They may be false information. If somebody is very unhappy, they may give a false information regarding that. So touch wood, so far we are doing good, and there's a lack of control. It's a time-consuming process. Immediately we won't get, but if we regularly try, we can do it. And there's the danger of self-diagnosis. The people who Google and come, they will have a lot of queries. They'll be asking so many doubts. We should be peaceful, very patient, and clarify their doubts. That's it. I hope I cleared some of the doubts regarding the Facebook and Twitter and Google reviews.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the crisp presentation. Yeah, the importance of Google reviews of pluses and minus you have showed very perfectly. Dr. Lalit, we'd like to have your comments. Dr. Lalit? I think sir's not there. Yes, Vanuja madam.
Good. Congratulations, Dr. Vinod. That was really very enlightening. You had highlighted, most of us do the things you were telling, but you really highlighted how by social media you are no prick, no pain, no patch becomes very attractive to patients, and how just one small caption can bring in a lot of people. Instead of spending on a big advertisement in newspaper or social media, with a small budget, you can reach out to lots of people and for a very long period.
Yeah.
That was really what we know, but you highlighted it.
Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you for that.
Yeah, we have the
Thank you.
The point you said regarding boosting the post
Yes,
is
ma'am.
really useful. It's such a short budget, we can reach more people. And testimonials can really be tricky because they must be a honest expression from the patient. So you should catch all of genuine patients. And if possible, you can get video testimonials also.
Yes, ma'am. We are doing that also, ma'am. We are posting that in Insta. We are doing that also. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Get the consent of the patient, and then we can do that video testimonials also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Google reviews, if you get more and more from all your surgical patients, you are likely to dilute that one negative feedback that came in. So that was something I learned in the last few years. So more Google reviews, less your negative marking goes. So that also we have to keep in mind. So be regular in taking reviews from your surgical patients.
And also surgeries, if it will be better if the patient mentions what sort of surgery they underwent, whether it's cataract or refractive. So people will be aware about what all specialties you handle.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Prasanna and Nishant, I'm just forced to comment if you allow me a 30
Yeah,
seconds.
please,
Do
sir,
I have?
definitely. Yeah, definitely, sir.
Yes,
I know,
yes,
I know
please,
we're
sir.
running short of time,
No,
but
it's
still
perfect,
incredible
sir.
presentation, Vinod.
Thank you, sir.
The point which I wanted to add on it, the right point which you said was anything and everything you do something, maybe a simplest of thing which happens in your clinic to be posted. I do it very often. One example of it, we post cataract surgeries, we post other blah blahs and everything. I did some patient with herpes zoster ophthalmicus with the permission of the patient, not the face, just the lesions and other thing. As soon as he entered, I took some pics. And at the end of the day, some a week or 10 days later, I had a clear face, clear eyes, everything. With this permission, I was able to post it. And that was something which is great. Nobody would have even thought it posting an herpes zoster ophthalmicus. And it counted so much on my likes or whatever it is, and patients calling me and asking what was the lesion, how did you do it? It was very simple. I didn't do anything. Acyclovir did all the trick, oral and topical, but such small things play a very great role. So anything which you do, which is something different than others, to try to post it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll take a comment from Dr. Deep Shekhar Das, sir. Yeah. We have a
Yeah, it was a very nice presentation. Just few things, I think it has already been mentioned. Google reviews are double-edged sword. So the thing is that individuals who are unhappy, they are likely to review more than a person who's happy. So it's the onus is on the surgeon or the practitioner to ensure that the person who's happy also reviews. Otherwise, what happens is the person who walks in your clinic, get the procedure done and goes home happily, they don't give the review. However, if a person comes to your clinic for any reason, is not happy with the services or anything, that person will definitely write a bad review. So you have to be very careful and ensure that any person who's happy also reviews. So that will work in your favor. Other than that, everything was already covered very nicely. So very nice presentation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Daivit, Dr. Anugraha, both we are surgeons, your feedback, and you guys are also both very active on social media platforms. Before we go to the next topic.
I think all the talks were very conclusive. I would just add one more thing. What I do is when I'm taking a Google review, when I'm asking a patient for a Google review, I ask the patient, do you want a picture? So it's kind of a celebrity moment for them. And once they take a picture with you, I'm sure, so they always upload it with a picture, and that gets verified by Google. So that is something which I practice along with my Google reviews.
Thank
That
you,
was
thank
a
you.
wonderful presentation by Vinod sir. So like everybody's talking more about this Google reviews. Yes, it stands a lot. I do that personally. I send my staff, once the patient is happy with you, the patient goes out and I send my sister back with the patient. Sir, if you're happy, can we please take a Google review? We ourselves take the patient's phone and whatever they say, we type in it and upload it. That, yes, stands a lot. So we ourselves have to build our own brand. So, and be our own face value.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll move on to if there are, Rituja, you wanted to add something, Dr. Rituja?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that you can keep a QR code also, which is easy for the patient to scan, and also tell your counselor or your staff to call up the patients maybe after a month after their surgery and then ask them how it is and then send them that link. So that also helps.
Thank you, your panel. And a quick word on Dr. Vinod sir is being a practitioner in Trichy. He was the first person to actually come and revolutionize social media in Trichy. I've never seen any senior ophthalmologist or young ophthalmologist really taking a grip on social media. I think being just 400 meters away from him, I've learned a lot on social media from him. Thank you, sir, for the inspiration.
Thank you,
Moving
Prasanna. Thank you so much.
From Trichy to Chennai, I would like to call upon Dr. Karthik to introduce Shruti ma'am for the next talk.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful talk. Next, we'll have Dr. Shruti Nishan. She heads the Strabismus Pediatric Ophthalmology and Neuro-Ophthalmology in MN Eye Hospital, Chennai. She is a joint editor of TNOA Journal. She is a reviewer at TNOA, IJO, and BMJ Open Ophthalmology. She has received a travel grant award receipt, and she holds a patent for developing a novel wearable device to measure sun exposure in children. She has best papers in TNOA 2019 and 2022, and she also won the best paper in AOS 2022. Over to you, Dr. Shruti.
Thank you so much for the long time that my thing was visible. I was a little embarrassed. Thank you. So thank you for the wonderful opportunity to TNOA, to President, and to Prasanna, and to the YO4 task force, which has given me this opportunity. So today I'm going to be talking about the wild, wild west of social media and how are we. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I'm going to be talking about, just a second, please. I'm not able to. Yeah, and how do we navigate this area and what to do, especially when it comes to one certain topic, and that is disease awareness. And I'm going to be specifically talking to you about disease awareness on social media. All right. So having said that, I should just put in a really small word about this, that we all know above the line marketing and below the line marketing. Above the line is all the hoardings that we see. Below the line is what we do, which is word to word through patients and so on. But social media is something that goes right through the line. It's so personal, and it's so personal at the same time. It's so vast that you can actually get the right amount of coverage for a good cost, and you get instant feedback as well. So that's the biggest advantage of social media, and I do truly believe that through the line marketing really helps. All right, so let's go on to how disease awareness, we can navigate through disease awareness. The first and most important thing is the setup that I talk about. Now look at this picture, and here you can see that I've just done a simple reel on a phone. You can see that it's been done. There's no extra settings that I have. For a beginner, this would be really good just to start off by producing content. But you can see here straight away that the AC is there. You've got a light. It's glaring. It's not really effective. And I've not used a mic. So today we're going to be... You can see the voice echoes and it's not great. What I would contrast it with is something like this. You can see how crisp the picture is and how beautifully landscape it is. You have a very pleasing kind of a background. And you just listen to my voice. Where look at the clarity of the sound that we hear. So the first thing that I would recommend is to use a good microphone. Invest in something that's so much available online, the wireless microphones. Use a good phone or a good camera, a pleasing angle, and you can use teleprompters to convey your script in terms of, you have apps like Big View, you have apps that help you kind of read out that script right in front of you, but they don't come out on the video. Now, having said that, that's the setup. So when we create content for disease awareness, the first and the most important thing is the selection of your topic. When we select topics, it's important to select a niche area where you want to be recognized in. Like Dr. Vinod wanted to be recognized in cataract, so you can see there's immense amount of cataract content on his Instagram, and that's where his USP lies. So select diseases that where you want to be recognized and do something which is more common. Again, because you don't want to be dealing with rare diseases, because common diseases have a wider audience. Choose your language, as Dr. Aditya said, you want to go for, if you have a more regional kind of a thing, you can go for Tamil, or if you want to go for a bigger kind of audience all over India, then you choose English. You can also learn to combine, do both, the same script in both the languages, and then put it out and see what works. And do seasonal diseases. Like when COVID came, let's do COVID and eye. Like, for example, when the flu comes, let's do flu and eye. So do seasonal diseases and relate it to ophthalmic specialty. When we think a topic is boring, remember, it may be boring to us because we are doing huge numbers in it, but actually it's not boring to the viewer because that's the first time they're viewing it. So what is boring for us is actually what may be interesting for someone. So don't hesitate from making content that's repeatable. Right. Now we move on to step number 2. Now that you have a good topic, always look for new information. Now, this is extremely important when we talk about diseases, because we all know that certain diseases have certain very common kind of information available. But we need to go one step further and create new information for 3 kinds of groups. 1 is for your potential patients who are seeing you, 2 is for your peers and your colleagues, and 3 is for students. So we need to be able to satisfy with one content all these 3 groups of people. So look for information that, and do research, appropriate research on information that satisfies all 3 groups, and always make it bite-sized so it's very easy for people to assimilate. The third, again, and the most interesting part is to offer a fresh perspective on whatever you are giving, the content that you're giving on the disease. So learn to be funny, learn to involve humor in a lot of things. It's okay to be imperfect, because imperfection makes you look human, and we all look for human connections on this digital world. So learn to be imperfect and learn to embrace that imperfection. Always add engaging visuals, not just a simple plain old image. Add some interesting videos or images as you speak, and that will add some value. And I do not recommend really telling out our details like I am so and so, I'm Dr. Shruti Nishan. It looks a little too direct. Maybe you can just add your name and your details in a ticker box on the bottom, so that acts like an indirect kind of a marketing. And of course, the last and the most important step is to engage. Reply to the comments on your videos about the diseases, answer the questions. If you want to go, if you think there's a lot of traction coming in on that particular post, do an Insta live session where you can directly talk to your community, do an FAQ session and build your community. And not just that, you can actually engage in other relevant discussions. For example, I commented on a post where they talked about direct sun gazing, and I said that's absolutely not right. And I put it in the comment. One reporter got back to me from the press. He wanted me to do an authentic review on that, and I did submit my comments, and it was published in the newspaper. So little things make a big difference. Okay, now let's look at the example of a disease based on those 4 steps. Let's look at something like very simple like conjunctivitis. I've selected a topic that's seasonal, that's trending, and a lot of people have it. Now let's devise new information on that. And then, you can talk about what are the types like bacterial or viral and so on, something that people don't know about. And then step 3, add your own perspective. So either you wear a pink dress to say it's a pink eye, or you can add a comment like, would Barbie like to have a pink eye? And then that would add an element of humor. And step 4 is to have a call to action. Always add something that says, comment below if you have had pink eye, or comment below if you've seen a patient with pink eye, something like that. Now, if you see this video here again, you can see this is about sunlight and myopia, a video that I did. That you can find. So this video I did, you can see that the information was new. There was a lot of research done for this. And so that all kinds of people got back to me, my patients, my colleagues, and my peers got back to me saying that this information was actually really useful. So add something interesting to keep it real, and also add your logos and add your name in the ticker box below like this. Okay, so what are the ways we can present our diseases? We can do it in the form of surgical videos that will add value, and YouTube is a great platform to do that. Preventive tips that can be given in reels and posts. Myth busters that can actually be done on Insta live sessions. You can actually talk and directly, sort out those issues. Interesting patient stories, again, through stories, and quick tips for self-diagnosis through YouTube Shorts. Again, it's a big area of, exploring. And before after images through Instagram posts, and full topic coverage. For example, if you want to cover an entire topic in different parts, you can actually do thematic series. Like this is something that we did, something that I did. You can see I spoke about myopia over 7 days, and you can see each portion of the topic I had covered on every day. And it's very important to make sure that the title of what you're talking is very short and presentable right at the top of your cover image. And that actually helps them easy to click on. So the do's are have consistent branding logos, use a uniform color scheme, have a call to action, and always close the loop. It's important that whatever number you give, someone's there on the back end to receive the phone call and to actually fix the appointment. And always be consistent. I think that's been spoken enough. Do not add any political content because you don't want to be controversial, no judgments or hurtful comments. You don't want to have any personal opinions there and no negative comment. Like even some simple reels like how you feel when a patient doesn't apply the drops and you make a funny reel. It may seem funny to you and your colleagues, but it's not funny to the audience who are actually the patients. So please refrain from posting negative content. So that's about it. I hope with these few points, we're able to crack the code of disease awareness in the wild west of social media. Remember, if you're not on the social media platforms as health professionals, the conversation would be dominated by people who don't have the appropriate training. And we are actually doing a good service by being on social media, trying to break that barrier. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Srishri. I'd like to have Dr. Lalit, please give his comments.
That was a wonderful talk. I think the MN team should actually start helping or should start an agency where they teach us how to market, and you can charge us for that. It's absolutely fine. And Shruti, hats off. Very crisp, very this thing. The best part I liked is your videos were very professional. See, I personally feel when you create content, right, it should be eye-catchy. So if you just create something, just take a small camera and just record something, it's not professional. People know what is professional and what is not. So they appreciate quality. So I personally feel that whatever you've done, the way you sat on that chair and that lighting and the background, everything was outstanding. And all your things were very crisp, to focus on one particular disease. If you specialize in something, focus on that, because that will get you more mileage than just talking on 10 things, which has no value. So hats off. Very, very good presentation.
Thank you. And it's good to have someone like Dr. Nishant holding the camera on the other end. So it helps.
Nishant is always a very, he's a great photographer, and this thing, his skills are great.
Thanks.
Shruti, that was a wonderful presentation. And raising public awareness about eye diseases. This was the main theme in which I started my YouTube channel way back 2 years ago. Because two things. There are a lot of myths about eye diseases. And second thing, due to maybe sheer laziness, see, suppose a conjunctivitis patient comes once, twice, thrice, we can see. At the time of epidemic, no, we won't be instructing all the points to all the patients. It's not uniform. It's not humanly possible. So what I thought was we should have a format like each patient should have that standardized set of instructions. So that made me start this YouTube channel. That's the main thing my aim was. And then it took off. So that now each patient, there should not be any partiality in giving information to the patient. At the end of the day, now we might tell only 25-30% of what has to be told to a patient. So in that case, there are a lot of positive and negative things about it. So whenever a conjunctivitis patient comes, I show the patient the instructions to be followed. Some patients take it in a good way, and there was a very negative comment also. The doctor uses this platform to increase rating and other things and all. So it's again a double-edged sword, but we don't care about it. That's not genuine. We are doing it genuinely in the interest of the patient. So hats off to you. I learned a lot from you, especially the crisp and short, sweet presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very good, Shruti.
Even just to add a point, when it comes to these Google reviews, when you have something negative being put out, I think it's okay to receive these negative comments. The most important is how we respond to it. That's more important. So we need to respond to it in a really polite and a kind way, accepting what they're telling, but also responding it and supporting ourselves. Or if we've done something, nothing wrong, we need to put it in the right spirit. So I think responding to these negative reviews in a very polite manner actually adds more positive value.
Exactly.
And also responding to positive Google reviews is equally important. We always, one negative review, you go and write a big paragraph on giving a lot of importance to it. But very rarely we give importance to positive comments. So I think we should highlight our positive comments also, responding.
That's a very valid point. You should also respond to valid, good comments also. You should actually reply to that. Good, very valid point. Thank you.
Next we go to the Yo panel. A quick comment from our Yo panel, Dr. Anu.
Wonderful talk, Shruti ma'am. I've seen a lot of your reels and videos. It's like very crisp and to the point and very attractive. And that's what makes you very special and outstanding.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. If there are no more comments, we'll move to the next speaker. Yeah, Karthik, can we have the slides? Nishan sir, can you invite the next speaker, Dr. Saiban Sethi?
Yes, I'll be very happy to invite my good friend, Dr. Saiban. So she finished her MBBS, MSD, NB, FICU, and FMRF from glaucoma in So then she received the gold medal at the Eye Research Fellowship Award in ARVO, Florida in 2014, and International Heroes Award at AIOS in 2020. Best papers at APACRS 2019, AIOS 2020, DOSCON 2020, and the list goes on and on and on. And I think she is one of the pioneers in the MIGS in India, and she also performed the live surgery, which I was there to witness in USK SOS. So now I request Dr. Saiban.
I think we just lost Dr. Nishan there. So Dr. Saiban,
Request.
yes, you are just not audible. Let's move to the next speaker, Dr. Saiban Sethi, on patient testimonials. Yeah, over to you, Dr. Saiban.
Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you, President sir, and thank you, Nishant. And your voice started cracking while introducing your good friend exactly. So, a pun intended. Anyway, so my topic is going to be leveraging patient testimonials for boosting recognition. I think this is the most discussed topic so far, so my job will be a little easier. So first of all, let's start with why bother about patient testimonials in the first place. Now that's because in the healthcare industry, trust is paramount and patients want to feel confident in their healthcare providers, knowing that they're in capable and compassionate hands. And one of the most effective ways of building trust is through patient testimonials, and these testimonials, they allow real patients to tell their real stories, and that is basically giving a very authentic insight to the care and the treatment that you're providing to them. Now, there can be two types of testimonials. You can either have video testimonials or you can have written testimonials from patients who are not comfortable in front of the camera. And they can be posted in various social platforms. You have such a plethora of platforms. You can put it on your website. We haven't really stressed upon also the aspect of a website creation. That's also a very important aspect because there has to be a landing page from your social media. Yes, of course, your phone number, your email address are your points of contact, but also having a landing page, whether you're a single brand as a doctor or you're an institute, have a website that you also have posted in your social media that the patient can come back to for reference. Then you can also post your testimonials on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google reviews. Even before and after photos are very impactful. They're short, they're just pictures, they're very attractive. You can post video testimonials of patients with their experiences. According to me, what's most impactful is patient stories. Now, the art of storytelling is always captivating, and you can dramatize it in a way that you can make a protagonist, which is your patient. You can have a villain, which is the disease. Have some sort of drama, whether it's good music, whether it's patient walking into the OT, and then of course followed by the resolution about what really did you do about the disease, your treatment, and the patient's experience regarding it.
Now, as much as I cannot stress upon the fact that yes, social media is important in creating your brand awareness, what's actually going to get you patients is the Google reviews. And because when the patient actually has a problem, they're going to go on Google, search for the nearest doctor, and that's when your high rating on Google review will give you more visibility. So ingredients for making a good video testimonials is, of course, happy patients. Also have a pleasant, familiar assistant. Now, in my hospital, it's usually the counselor who's always been in contact with the patient, so that there is no new face that suddenly appears for just taking a video of the patient, which will not make them feel comfortable. So have a trained assistant who is pleasant, who can make the environment a little more comfortable for the patient. Have a well-dedicated, well-lit space. Microphone is very important for any noise cancellation, maybe even a tripod with a stable camera for good quality photos. Also, you have to have a good video editor. I use the InShot video editor. I've started using the paid versions for the amount of work that we're requiring to do now. Now, this, according to me, is a very good example of a testimonial because you have basically just 6 seconds to capture your audience's attention. And everything is conveyed in this one frame, all your marketing objectives. Like somebody just mentioned that Vinod sir wanted to be known as a cataract surgeon. So he did pretty much what is given over here. So you just give the bullet points, what is your USP, write it down there so that in the first glance itself, the patient is familiar with what you're trying to convey. Also, let the patient have a convincing tone, a happy tone, so that it connects with your audience. So when to take the patient testimonials is also very critical. Preferably not at the first visit is what my experience has been. Let them be comfortable with you. Let them be comfortable with the environment so that when they come for a review visit, that's when it becomes easier to ask them for a testimonial. Obviously, always get hold of happy patients. When they give you a compliment, capitalize on that. Tell them that if you can just take 5 more minutes, if you're happy, we can deliver this message out there to many more needy patients. Also, post-surgery patients are very easy to convince because you already have a good rapport with them. And this tactic of I'll go home and give reviews really never works. So whatever you have to do has to be in the clinic. Now, who should ask for a patient testimonial or a review is also critical. Although your assistants, your counselors can, but the doctor has to be the one who has to nudge the patient to go outside and do this for them. So be confident, don't be shy. Don't feel that it's a non-ethical thing, because this supposed non-commercial field that we're living in, it can get very awkward. So what we do is we have these standees. This is a very useful tip somebody gave to me. So what we do is we ask our patients, if you're happy, tell others. So we show them this Google review QR code. But there is also a point of grievance for patients who are unhappy. So if they're unhappy, we also give them a QR code which takes them to a feedback form, which we obviously take very seriously, and then we consider and make amends. Similarly, there are also QR code stickers that I put in the prescription printout so that they can go home and do it. Now, also about what questions to ask. Well, authenticity is key. The main point of an effective patient testimonial is to show that the content is authentic. So choose patients who sound natural. Whatever you do, don't give them a script. Let them speak from their heart. Even if it is not polished, that lack of polish will actually convey authenticity and how honest their story is. So even when you don't give them a script, you still have to have some framework of questions to prompt their story. So don't ask yes or no questions. These are the list of questions that we prompt the patient so that they can find it easier to tell their story. Ask about what their initial problems were. Ask them why they chose you and how they got to know about you. Ask them how you solved their problem and also how it has improved their lifestyle. In the end, ask them if you will recommend you to somebody else or not. In the end, ethical responsibilities are something that everyone has to be really mindful of. Like Kalpana ma'am said, take a patient testimonial release form, because anything can go viral. There can be, wrong comments about even the patient testimonials that you put out that the patient might actually have a problem with later. So you have to have a written consent or even a video consent. Before you start taking a video, you can actually shoot in the video that we've taken consent from you for posting this video on our social media page. And finally, also always maintain integrity without exaggeration and be sensitive about these patient stories and treat them respectfully with care. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saiban. Kalpana ma'am, can we have your comments before we move to the yoga?
Yeah, lovely, very lovely to hear from you, Sahiban. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
So, as you said, the Google reviews, somebody said, are double-edged weapons. So, when to get review is in the clinic. Spot on. That's what you said. Otherwise, it never happens.
Yeah.
So what we do is, initially, even I was shy to ask a patient for a review. Then finally, nothing works. We have to start. Our staffs cannot do that. So I will counsel the patient, and if they are very happy with this, and some patients, all of us have die-hard patients. So whatever we do, they'll be. So such patients, I'll tell them point blank on the face, it's not enough if you thank me in person inside a consulting room. You have to go public. Is it okay? Then I put a note in the case sheet, Google review. So my staffs will go and counsel them and get a nice review. So that way it works. And this feedback form, how do you create that QR code for that? Unhappy patients, you had a lot of it, and how do you respond to it?
So, ma'am,
for unhappy,
you have a page on Google. You can generate a QR code from it, and then you just print it out on in a sticker form. So that
no, that
QR
won't go
code
in
is
for Google review. The unhappy patients.
No, so the unhappy patients will actually take you to a Google form. Now, that's a separate form which only you have access to. It is nothing public. It's basically trying to tell your patients that if you have a grievance with the hospital or with the doctor, let us improve it. You don't really have to go and make a hoo-ha about it. But if you're happy, then other patients should know. So basically, any grievance that the patient gives out is for your improvement. So we should be the ones knowing about it, and then we can improve upon it. So it goes to a Google form, which is a feedback form that comes to your personal email ID.
Excellent. I
Very
learned
valid
something
and
new.
brilliant point. Yeah, I think all of us can take it up.
Correct.
That's nice.
And the other one,
also
we scan and do the Google review, it comes public, right?
Yes, ma'am. The QR code stickers which you put out over there. In fact, what you can do is, even if you don't want stickers, your prescription itself can also have an embedded QR code, like how you have your name, probably the signature, maybe the heading of your the letterhead.
The problem is, if the unhappy patient scans that code,
unhappy patients will dig you out, and they will go Google, and then they will find you out and dig you out of the grave no matter what.
Exactly.
So that is anyway going to happen. But yes, the sticker came from the idea that you give it to patients that you want to give it to. That way you're right. So stickers helps me better.
Good. Great talk.
And the consent, the ethics of it, having a consent form ready to take videos and pictures, that's a very nice, valid point also. Really, we need to have that when we take videos and photos. Having a ready-made consent form is a good idea.
And the other point also, you said a good microphone with noise cancellations, extremely important. Otherwise, what the patient mumbles, nobody will be able to hear, and it's totally irrelevant post on social media.
Absolutely.
Very good.
We'll take a few comments from the Yo panel, Dr. Aditya, Dr. Rituja, Dr. Daivat.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask one thing, Dr. Saiban's line of regarding the controversies or ethics. I mean, what's the take of Yo panel on that? the fine boundary or the ethical boundary, or each one of us would have had different perspectives on it. Your take, my dear, your panel.
Yeah, so a very nice presentation by Dr. Sahiban. So a few things I would like to echo that she has already said. These reviews, these positive reviews, you will receive so many more of them if you ask the patient yourself. There's no need to be shy about it. Because as I already mentioned before, the unhappy patient will not have any problem with giving you a review on the spot. It'll come very easily. But for a happy patient to give you a review, you have to work for it. It's not enough that you just give a good result. So you either have one of your staff who has a good rapport with the patient, perhaps a counselor or the optometrist might have a very good rapport with them. They might speak more freely with them. If you can identify that and have them work towards getting a review, that also helps. Or the other option is for you to ask the patient directly. At one point of time, I myself said, okay, I'm going to stop being shy about asking my patients for reviews, and I ask them on the face at a post-op consultation a month or two down the line. And it really works in getting more reviews from their side. The other thing about the video reviews is, as already mentioned, you have to have a good camera with a good microphone. And I don't like to be in proximity with the patient while the video is being taken. And I don't like to give them a script about what to say. It's better that they say what they would like to. So it looks more natural, the flow is better. And the overall outlook of the video is good, and people believe the genuineness of the video. As far as ethical considerations, I know this is a gray area. A couple of months ago, I think the NMC put out a notification saying that you're not supposed to solicit reviews from patients. But I feel these reviews are necessary. They are a prerequisite now for our practice. Social media is something that is now a tool that all of us have to utilize. As long as these reviews are genuine, coming from real patients who have undergone a procedure at your hospital, I don't see any ethical boundaries that we are crossing, honestly.
Dr. Rituja?
But also, it's better to respond to each and every review. Directly responding and engaging the patients is very, very important. It's very time consuming, but it's very important to respond to any comment.
Yeah, so Dr. Saiban, very nice presentation and very smartly put across as always. The other thing I would like to add is, especially when you're taking pictures with the patient for that kind of personal touch, especially if it's kids, to get the consent from the parent also for that. Usually I just tell the parent to take the picture and then send me the picture across so that they know that what I'm using it for. The other thing is, when you put your pre and post photos like you showed, it's great to have a watermark on that so that other people don't share it on their thing, because this happens a lot in oculoplastics especially, because we have pre and post photos on our pages everywhere, and people like plastic surgeons etc have shared them on their own pages. So that's another thing. And with respect to the consent, it's not only for the pictures that we are using on our social media, it's also the pictures that we use in our talks, because every AIOS talk is recorded and it comes on YouTube. I've even got patients coming from the AIOS talk on YouTube. So those things tend to flash your images of your patients pre and post, and videos that you have of patients that kind of gets put up a lot on YouTube as well. So it's best to have all the consents from all those patients as well.
I think it's a wonderful point. Maybe since everything is in YouTube, maybe watermarking your slides going forward in your presentations and conferences, I think that's a nice point to look forward to. Yeah, Dr. David, Dr. Anugraha, your take on.
Wonderful talk, Dr. Saiban, as usual. The patient testimonial was the best part, what you were telling about. I, in fact, even play my video testimonials, even on the screen in the hospital. So that is also in a way of indirect marketing. Like, so patients, when they're sitting in the waiting area, they'll discuss, they'll see the video and they'll talk. And like, say, I've done this surgery, I'm fine. So they bring you even more patients. When you put your video testimonial on the screen in your waiting area, that is also a way of marketing.
Yes. Dr. David?
I think moral of the story is there is no running away from unhappy patients.
because they'll really dig you out from your grave and post it. So one thing I loved about Shaiban's talk was the website. I think all of us should have our own website, because what happens is something called SEO on Google. So if you have your website, Google validates it, and when you search for your name, it comes up in the search engine optimization system. So that is something which I really loved.
A quick comment from Ravi Shankar sir before we go to the next speaker. Ravi Shankar sir, your comment on patient testimonial.
Yeah, as rightly said by Saiban, website definitely counts a lot. Probably even years back when we developed the website, probably we were very remote. That time we didn't know much, but it definitely counted a lot of response from the patients, and footfalls definitely increases. Website is definitely an important criteria. See, every tool for that matter in social media is important. I agree. Let it be a YouTube or a reel or an Instagram or a Facebook or anything. Whichever you're good in, please proceed and go ahead and do it. Website definitely counts a great point in it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi sir. If there are no more points of the panel, the SO panel, UO panel, we'll move to the next speaker. Dr. Karthik, can we have the CV of the next speaker? Yeah. Yes. So next speaker is Dr. Maitri. She's a DNB graduate from 2015 to 2018, postgraduate from MNI Hospital, Chennai. She has finished her senior residency from CMC Vellore, fellowship in pediatric ophthalmology and strabismus from Narayana Nethralaya, Bangalore, and she's now a consultant at the same place. She has won the Best Poster Podium Presentation in Neuro-Ophthalmology at AOS 2023, peer reviewer for BMJ Open Access Journal, presented at DSCRS and WSPOS, 4 publications in peer-reviewed journals, and 1 chapter in recent advances in ophthalmology. So she is also an avid reader, writer, and published author, budding social media enthusiast. So looking forward to hearing from you on posting reels or stories, what keeps the audience engaged. So the engagement and the concentrated factor. Over to you, ma'am, for the next few minutes.
Thank you so much, Prasanna, for this very nice introduction. Let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, visible. Yeah.
Okay, and all of you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, fine. So everybody has already spoken a lot about Instagram, a lot about how to post, what to do, and everything. And everybody's question was whether to post posts, reels, or stories, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. My Instagram handle is @Maitri_Arun_Kumar, and like Dr. Dhruv was saying in the beginning, you can have your own hashtag, and my hashtag is II by my, like a pirate, II by my. So let's go on. What do we actually mean by engagement? Dr. Koheli spoke about it, Dr. Dhruv spoke about it, and I'm also going to say, is it just the number of followers? Is it the number of views that you get? We all know by now it's not. So what exactly is it? It's the number of likes, the comments, the shares, and the saves. Basically, how the audience interacts with you, which then translates to spreading awareness, boosting organic growth, conversion to actual patients, and also creating your own identity. So the more the the more audience engages with you, the more your identity is being created on social media. Now, while posts are actually useful, they give out in-depth information. You can put up do's and don'ts, disease or treatment awareness, credible, serious content. You can create a series of posts like Dr. Shruti was just talking about now. These were some of my earliest posts on Instagram. It was way back in 2020 when I had nothing else to do as a new mother. I was at home. And we had a whole series on CVI, which Dr. Shruti and I did. And at that time, though it had only 115 likes and only 21 comments, look at the number of shares it got. And the same thing over here also. Blue blocker glasses became a huge thing back then in COVID. Everybody wanted to know about it. Everybody wanted to buy it because of online classes. So I went ahead and did a bit of research on that, put up a post on that. And that again garnered about 139 saves. And like Dr. Koheli previously mentioned, saves are just as important, because that only means that your post was so useful, the audience will go back and look at it and then probably share it or show it to other people. So posts are a great way to share credible, serious content. But stories is where your audience goes every day. We all know when as soon as we open Instagram, the top panel is stories, and all of us just go on clicking on that. Nobody has even the time nowadays to scroll up on different posts because most of them are ads. So that's why you need to make your stories more interactive, and that's when it gets better. How do we do that? We've already spoken about this also on this forum. Create quizzes, create question stickers like your AMAs. Ask me anything about, because I'm a pediatric ophthalmologist, I talk mostly about children eye health. And put up polls and ask what they would want from you. Like sometimes I put up polls on what kind of posts they would want, or I put up polls on whether they want to know about allergic conjunctivitis versus infective conjunctivitis. Is there a difference or not? And whether they would like to know more about the treatment of pink eye versus prevention of pink eye, and do a separate post or a set of series on that. And you can even put up certain tips based on the AMA that you get. So certain AMAs, they keep on asking you, please give us tips on this, tips on that. You can even put up that on stories. And then all these can be saved on highlights with different names. You can save highlights as myopia, highlights as retina surgery, highlights as diabetic retinopathy, highlights as squint. And people can go and click on those highlights to open up your stories and read them again and again. So they're always saved. Though you feel like stories last only for 24 hours, it need not be if you save them as highlights. Another thing is do live sessions, do Q&A sessions. So during COVID, we all know second wave, it was all about the black fungus, the mucormycosis. So I did a live with Dr. Sonam, and it was huge. It went a lot of views, a lot of questions. I kept getting a lot of feedback from my audience on Instagram. So patient feedback also can be put up as stories. I don't put up patient feedback on my handle because I work for an institute and I'm not allowed to do that on my personal. So now coming to the current era of reels. Excuse me. We need to keep it as real as possible, though they're just reels. And like Dr. Dhruval and Dr. Kohili already mentioned, it's very important for us to create the first part of the reel where it's already put up on the top part of the reel, what we're going to talk about. This is just a short reel I'm going to show you, which is hardly what 8 seconds. Where all I did was dance. Okay, so that's all I did. I just danced to show how I feel when my patient's myopia is stable. And that garnered a lot of views for me. Yeah, that garnered a lot of views for me. This was the most viewed of my reels. I'm a very small Instagrammer right now. So for that sake, it went up to around 151,000. It got so many saves and shares. And what actually felt very, very real for me was the number of profile activity I got from it. So this is actual engagement. Your watch time, the number of plays, and the average watch time of anybody is just about anywhere between 6 seconds to 23 seconds, does not increase more than that. So the more you put up something that gets their attention in the first 5-6 seconds is when they actually watch your reel. So all this 952 profile activity converted for me as followers, and actually 3 of them came to me to Narayana Netralaya as patients after messaging and asking me where I work. So that's also something that I felt was very important, and this reel became a huge thing for me. Now going forward, other parts of engagement would not just be the views here. See, I've got, this was one of my most shared reels back then, and even now it even went up on the official page of Narayana Netralaya. And I got a lot of patients from this reel. I got a lot of information going out to other people from this reel. And I even did surgery for 2-3 patients based on the reel on squint that I had done. So that's one thing. Even though the number of plays are less, it can still convert into patients for you. Even though the number of comments are less, the shares are less, it still can convert even if it reaches the one person who needs it. Now, the watch time is also something that you can keep an eye on and see how long it's being watched, because that's what people get from the explore page. If your reel is that good, if the number of plays are good, if the shares are good, it keeps coming up on the explore page on Instagram, and more people will keep going to it. Now, we also talked about reach before this, and where now here you can see one of my reels had just about 2,500 accounts, but of them, 1,600 were non-followers. So this means that my reel was on the explore page, and people who don't even follow me still watched it, and then probably came and commented on it and saved it or shared it. Now this, again, I put this up to show I put this up to show the kind of cover thing that you can put up on your reels, because these didn't have it. These are my earlier ones and I did not know how to do it, but I learned and I use Canva and InShot, just like Sahiban mentioned now. And this just says how to practice no screen time during meal time, which is something that all parents struggle with nowadays. And this again got the maximum number of shares for me, 53 and 38 saves. So this is how engagement has happened for me. Now coming to answer the first question, post reels or stories. Again, it depends on you. If you're doing posts, do just about 5 to 6 slides. Don't use up all the 10 slides on Instagram. Nobody is going to go up to the 10th slide. Put the information in simple sentences with pictures, with just some tips in the caption. Not more than 6 or 7 tips, because again, nobody's going to read a long caption. And also have a call to action. I think Dr. Shruti also mentioned about this. Ask people, have they experienced this? Do they know somebody who's experienced this? Did any of these tips help them? And that will garner some engagement for you. Now, in the reels, get as creative as you can. You can do anything on reels. People will watch it, trust me. But use the caption for details, while the reel itself gives only the crux of the matter. And take advantage of your regional language. I think Dr. Aditya mentioned it at one of the discussions just now. Use, like for me, Kannada is the regional language here, and I speak Kannada in a lot of my reels. But I do use subtitles because everybody watches it on mute, and I do have a lot of audience who don't know Kannada. So using the subtitles in English, again, gets the information out there for more number of people. Post stories every day if you're doing it. Share your posts on stories weekly so that you don't seem very desperate for people to go on. No, it's not nice for somebody to click on your stories and keep seeing the same thing again and again and again. They get sick of it. So don't keep doing it too often. And do not make it seem very obvious that you really want the attention. Just put some information. Like if you want to share a post, what I do is put an AMA before I create a post. Then tell people that, you know what, I'm going to create a post on this. And then when I put up the post, I say, this was the question that people asked me on the Ask Me Anything handle. And therefore, all the information that you want answered is on this post. So then people go and see it. And use hashtags, use keywords. Now, more than hashtags, keywords are becoming important on Instagram. You put them at the end of the caption with commas after everything, just like how you would put keywords in your journal articles. Create series like Dr. Shruti spoke about, and collaborate with other colleagues, other Instagrammers, other people who are there. It does not matter how big they are or how small they are. You just collaborate so that things are seen on their page as well as your page. Engage with your audience too. When you have a call to action, please respond to the comments, respond to DMs, give them the information that they would want without giving them actual treatment on Instagram. I see a lot of people asking me, doctor, please prescribe drops for this, and they send me pictures of their child's red eye. And all I can say is, I wish I could do that, but it would always be better for you to go to the nearest ophthalmologist. It does look like either allergy or infection, but to always be sure, please go visit the ophthalmologist. That's what I do on my handle, because again, like I said, I work for an institute, and anything that I do will reflect on the institute I work for. So be authentic, be real, be creative. You don't have to always follow the trend. You don't have to always create reels based on the trendiest music out there. It's not really required unless you really want to do it. So this is my page. And through my page, I've gotten ROP screening done for a preemie within the time, and the child even got laser done. I got to do a quick referral for a tick lodged in the eye. Squint treatment, I got to operate on that patient myself, and follow-up of allergic eye disease also. So what I believe is, if what I do on social media can help at least one consumer and guide them in the right way, my goal is achieved. And through that, I've got a whole family of doctor and stuff friends now. Like most of them are on the panel here. Aditya, Sahiban, Rituja, all of them. So it's really wonderful. Thank you so much for listening.
Amazing, Dr. Maitri. One more thing I like the best about her is I think you should see her videos where she plays the role of a parent and as a doctor by herself. So actually that is what, as she said, it is very creative and innovative. We can't ask parents to ask all the silly questions. So she herself plays the role of a parent, asking silly questions and also answers them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Kalpana ma'am, your comments.
It was a very mind-blowing presentation, Dr. Maitri. And you're so wise to create such a wonderful page. Help patients also. And it's not just for the presence, but also breaking all the myths about your professional diseases and help in treating the patients also. That's
Thank you,
excellent. Excellent way.
Thank you.
We have to learn a lot from you.
Thanks, sir.
Your comment, sir.
Maitri, you can stop sharing.
Yeah. Ravi, sir, you are not audible, sir.
Okay, Prasanna. I've been called on and off. Superb. Thank you for it. And well, I have no big comments for Maitri because I've been seeing her and her social media for recent past for a while. And I've learnt a lot today. That's my comment.
Thank you, sir. Any comments from the VIO panel, Dr. Rituja, Dr. Anugraha?
I'd just like to say Maitri's page is probably a very good example of not having to use professional help to record or to do any of these things. It's just sometimes imagination and creativity which kind of comes into play. And I would say kind of repeating a few things. Like there are a few things which you kind of do often. So patients or your followers will tend to look forward to those kind of things like Monday motivation or whatever it is. So nice. Your page is very fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, Dr. Anu.
Nice talk, Dr. Maitri. Especially you insisted on the highlights. That is very important. I do have on my Instagram page, like for example, diabetic retinopathy camps separately. So all those things, when patients go inside, that patient testimonial, your Google reviews, and your PG's trainings, and everything will be in a separate highlight. So whenever they go into your page, it'll be easy for them to see that. So that is very nice.
I have a doubt to Dr. Maitri before we move to the last speaker. So regarding, it's a very silly doubt, but do pardon me for it. So regarding the dance video that you showed right on your Instagram reels, so I am having a YouTube video channel which I'm trying my level best to learn from all of you guys. So whenever I post an academic post, the views are finding very hard to move. Maximum it gets 100, 150 or 200. It feels very hard to move. But then I did have in our Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association, I did a dance and I posted that video. I didn't even push it, but it went up to 999. It was quite shocking. I mean, so how do you, I mean, does in masala like Vasul Raja?
That's what I'm saying. Indians love masala.
Yeah, in Munnabai MBBS and in Vasul Raja, they say, right? Is that really what we are?
It is. Yeah. It's very, very true.
When I saw your dance video, that got triggered for me because I post good content videos. I find it very hard to push it more than 100 views. Sometimes it stucks up at 73, 75. And your take and maybe even Daivat can add on to that point.
Maybe Prasanna, now we are looking at a good career option for you.
So what I'd like to say, Prasanna, is that the reason why I started doing like what Dr. Nishant mentioned here, I act like the patient's mother and the doctor itself is because that's when they relate to it more. If it's just me talking about what do you have to do if your child has myopia, nobody's going to really bother about that. But if I say something like, doctor, my child has myopia, now what do I do? And then you see like, okay, yeah, I understand. Now this is what you can do. So that whole thing of, because Indians love movies, Indians love Bollywood, Indians love masala, Indians love a heart being thrown from one patient into another patient, like just there. So because that happens, it does garner a lot of interest and it becomes very catchy. Once you see somebody dancing like that, and then you realize, oh, it says something about myopia. What's myopia? It's a disease. Oh, it's a doctor. A doctor is dancing. Okay, let me see what this is about. So that's when it becomes a little more catchy for them. I just tried that on a whim because that day I was really happy about that patient's myopia being stable and I really wanted to dance.
Daivat, I wanted to ask you the same thing, and I have followed your Instagram profile as well. You have a particular color coding for your reels, right? Is there any science behind it, or you want the person to go and, I mean, you can throw more light?
Kind of a cover page. It's kind of a cover page. So it tells you about what that reel is. So it is easy to navigate. So that is something I've learned from one of the panelists here. So I think it has helped me, and it helps me also to navigate. If I want to go back to the reel, it's very easy.
Do you believe in more of a digital thumbnail? I mean, you in a word of yours is more of colors followed by the words. Or
Yes.
you believe more of an attractive image, or
I think an attractive would attract more audience. It would be more enlightening. So that is what but that has to be a little bit professional, you know. So I use Canva for it. There's an app called Canva. I use that for it. So I'm trying to go the digital way now.
you will share your thing on the group so that for the benefit of others also. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. If there are no further doubts, I think we made our Dhoni wait to add the finishing touch. So I think Dr. Akshay sir saving the best for the last. So I would like to call upon Dr. Nishant sir, our chairperson, to introduce Akshay sir to enlighten us on the points that we have missed, as well as on prioritizing or optimizing social media for ophthalmologists, yours and as well as beyond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Akshay, and welcome. It is such an honor to have you here. I'm sure this is not even 0.1% of your CV here, but yeah, I've been knowing you from the days in Shankar Nethralaya. So he did his ICO fellowship in orbit and oculofacial surgery from New York Eye and Ear Infirmary. He's a consultant oculoplastic surgeon and ocular oncologist from Agarwal's Eye Group of Hospital in Mumbai. And he is also one of the top 2% of the scientists globally, most researched cited, and 140 plus indexed peer-reviewed publication. I think that deserves a round of applause. 35 plus journals served as a reviewer and 16 textbook chapters. So he's been having so much of awards and accolades in his series. And sorry, but I have to say this, Akshay. I think today or yesterday is the last day that he's being your person, and I think he's going to turn to an SO person from tomorrow. I think yesterday was your birthday, belated birthday wishes.
Thank you so much for reminding me that I have turned 40. And thanks for that introduction. It's always good to be in this company, and the best way to be young is to hang around younger people. I'm going to share my talk, and I think a lot of the heavy lifting is already being done by my speakers before me. So what I'm going to speak about primarily is so everybody's spoken a lot on reels and how to use videos, patient testimonials. So I'm going to talk about images, just photos that we use, and that is, of course, the crux of Instagram. Instagram was created initially, and for the longest time, supported only images that we were using. So most of my talk is aimed for beginners, people who've just come into practice, or practitioners who've been practicing the way they've already been, but have not yet ventured into the realm of social media. So again, on Instagram, you have reels, you have videos, you have live sessions, and you have photos. And no matter how much we want to escape from it, it is a part of our practice building. Everybody who comes to your profile is going to check your recent activity. So you can't have periods where you don't post. And not everybody has a team who can help you shoot videos. Not everyone has a Nishant who can be a good cameraman. And we need to do our own things on our own. So that pressure to post is real. And at that time is between, say, 2 reels that you've shot, or 2 surgical videos that you've clicked, or a few patient testimonials. You don't want to post too many surgery procedures, too many patient procedures or testimonials in a row. And that's where images can be a great content. And a lot of people spoke about, Maitri spoke about, looking at the data, and so did Koheli. Images alone have one of the highest percentage of engagement, especially high quality images, compared to reels and stories. So, simple images can also go a long way in getting the engagement that you're looking for. So why Instagram? A lot of people said, and it was interesting to hear the discussion initially of how, the senior generation, our leaders said, oh, we are happy with Facebook. That's because the average age of the Instagram user in India is 33. And the average age of the Facebook user in India is 51. Now you can imagine, if you're looking at refractive surgery, if you're targeting patients of children with potentially strabismus or amblyopia, you need to be on Instagram and not on Facebook, but possibly cataract and other things. Facebook would be a good area to choose your audience. And I think Dhruval also mentioned, decide your audience. Is it going to be patients? Is it going to be colleagues? Is it going to be medical students? And then post. Now there's going to be a little variety, a lot of heterogeneity, because specialties like aesthetics, pediatrics, oculoplastics are a very visual branch. We can post a good before and after of a ptosis or a bleph, and not so much in the retina or anterior segment, because not so much of the lay public is going to understand a slit lamp photograph or something. So you really need to make it that much more interesting to garner the interest and keep it there. So photos are going to serve a different audience. You need to mix and match. So what are the things you can post? You can post good clinical photos, patient information photos, new announcement. You've got a new LASIK machine. You've got a new fundus camera, and of course, before and after photos. And I'll go over each of these in a bit. So images, and I've taken these from different, Instagram channels that are very popular. If you're going to put a picture, clinical photo, it has to be of high quality. It has to have a very crisp description or a caption. If it's a little gory video, a warning may be important. And I think Rituja mentioned watermark it if necessary, because a lot of people are there who will use your pictures, doesn't matter. Shruti mentioned about seasonal variations, and this is a good point. You can post a picture of a kid rubbing their eye. You can post a picture of a patient with VKC and talk about allergic conjunctivitis that comes seasonally, or things like that occur in a cyclical way. You don't need to have a fancy camera. A simple slit lamp photograph or even an external photograph shot well in an imaginative way. Now look at this. This is nothing but a small corneal foreign body, but the image of, or the idea of using a blue filter to make a beam and clicking a picture at an angle makes for excellent visual representation, and it captures the imagination. You can also use infographics. Now, infographics have a high rate of engagement, sharing, saving, and follows. So if you're gonna, if you've got a series of cases that show one condition in different ways or different features of the same condition, like say, for example, this papilledema, it is a great tool for medical students, for residents, and fellows to look, understand, and follow. These posts, of course, are a little high on time investment because you need to take time out to sort out these images, put the post together. It's a good idea if you don't plagiarize images for these kind of posts, it land you up in trouble. So these kind of posts are good, but the only drawback is these are not going to be looked at by the general public. The algorithm will not push these on the feeds of non-professionals. So people who've visited pages similar to yours are the ones in whose feed this is going to show up. So it's a bit like an echo chamber where infographics and specific medical information is going to be shared only amongst the medical circles, your colleagues, your co-ophthalmologists. So may not really garner you the patient traction that you're looking for. Before and after photos. Now I call them the deal makers because this is what is going to get the patient to the doorstep of your clinic. Now, pictures that you post have to be absolutely eye-catching. Everybody said, Saiban mentioned how you have 6 seconds or 3 seconds perhaps to catch the patient, the viewer's attention. So these pictures have to be absolutely comparable, reproducible, and standard images. You can't have a before with a flash and after the procedure without a flash, or vice versa. They have to be really standardized. So good examples of before and after I'll come to in a bit, but I'll show you the bad ones, and I've been a little polite in cropping off the names of these posts of the people who shared these. You can see on the left, the before is blurred. It's shot without a flash. The after that is below is probably shot a week post-op. You can still see the wound not healed completely, and it is with a flash. The middle picture, before is patient is standing. After, the patient is on the bed. Now there is absolutely no point on the table with the drapes, with the sutures, having to click a picture. This has no value to a potential patient looking at you. And again, posting a bad result of what you think is a good surgery earns you no points and definitely no patients. But what are good posts if you have consent for full face photos and you're able to put a dramatic before and after? Look at the patient on the left who's had a lower lid blepharoplasty and a ptosis. Look at the child in the middle who's had a strabismus surgery and now is smiling. And I'm going to do a little bit of self promotion here. That is before and after blepharoplasty. Nothing in these photos has changed except the surgical result. They're absolutely reproduced identically with the same lighting, the same magnification, the same patient positioning, and that is what patients want to see. You have to take their consent, especially if you're taking full face photos. Have a ready-made pro forma for patient consent form for photography, and include that once shared, a line that mentions that once shared online, the further propagation of these photos is beyond the control of the surgeon, and therefore you do give permission to release them onto the internet. And it doesn't have to be fine print. You can also be innovative and use these sliders to show a before and after. Now you can see the ptosis and the blepharoplasty being used to correct the hooding of the skin, and the eyes look bigger and brighter. You can also use these pictures and add music or photos to make them into reels so that they show up on the reel feeds that people look. Deval mentioned something about uniformity in terms of your branding. Now, this is something I've also been doing. All my posts are typically themed on a similar kind of a font, a similar aesthetic, a branding with the same watermark and the before and after, so that over time it reinforces recognition and also credibility. So when people see this post, they know it's from this person, and then it adds value to that. Now, harness the power of social media. Again, Saiban was very eloquent on talking about patient testimonials. Now, while we should look at garnering patient testimonials, I always look at it as in terms of what is the importance of one patient endorsing one doctor to their circle versus one doctor sitting in this echo chamber of his social media channel and posting hundreds of patient testimonials. So I like this clinic. This is a clinic in Malaysia. So every patient who comes gets a LASIK done. They get their patient's photograph done. They nicely Photoshop it with the clinic's logo at the back. Ask them to pose imaginatively, doing these kind of funny things. Now they ask the patient to tag them and post it on their social media channels. So imagine that what we are seeing is our colleagues posting their own posts, each, our friends sharing their patient testimonials. But imagine a layman telling hundreds of their friends, hey, I got my LASIK done here and I'm happy with that. And then it's literal word of mouth that takes it forward. And that is a very, very great organic way. So instead of us doing the heavyweight lifting of propagating the word of mouth through patient testimonials, put it on the patient's shoulders. And not everybody is going to have a very active social media platform, etc. But if you do this as, you cherry pick your patients, you know who's tech savvy. And now most of the patients who undergo LASIK are extremely technologically savvy, have their own running social media platforms. And there's no reason why they would not say to adding a post like this, especially if they're happy with the outcome. Now, also, you can look a little beyond ophthalmology because perception is everything. One thing I keep telling everyone is don't overdo conference photos, especially if you're doctors. Over the past week, everybody and their uncle and aunt have been to Bali and back, and my feed is full of that. I don't want to see anyone talk about Bali or APAO. That's what you can do. So limit your conference participations. Patients are not going to see that. Also, occasionally post family photos, a little bit about vacation, something like pets. It humanizes you as a doctor to patients. Post pictures with the holidays, with the hospital staff, especially on occasions of puja or occasions of commemorative World Sight Day or Blindness Day or things like that. On vacations, on Diwali, post a little bit of these. If patients have given you gifts, you can post those that gives you a nice human touch. Post pictures with colleagues and tag them. That causes cross-pollination. People who land up on their page see this may also increase the interaction on your page. If you've got, if you planning to use celebrity pictures, don't do them, especially without permission. And Prasanna, you call me Dhoni. This is an actual post of a LASIK clinic in Gujarat where they've just coolly gone ahead and used Dhoni's photos. So that is an absolute no-no. Now, this was briefly touched upon by, I think, Dr. Aditya, using social media now. Unfortunately, it's a big mess. This is the guidelines of the National Medical Council. It says that the registered medical practitioners should not post patient photographs or scans on social media, because once it is posted on social media, it becomes data owned by the social media company or general public. It further elaborates and says that they should not share patient testimonials or share images that display impressive results, and soliciting patients directly or indirectly is unethical. However, the loophole, of course, is that it says nothing about sharing patient data, patient images, if the patient has voluntarily consented to do so and you have a written consent for that. So it's a big gray area. There's nothing in white and black. And there is definitely a need for us to ask them to change or reconsider these guidelines that are being suggested. Finally, things that you should do is have, whenever you post an image, give a nice caption. You can actually use things like AI generation tools to give you a good caption. Don't forget to push the right hashtags. Adding hashtags in comments actually pushes your post higher. Update your bios. If you post a lot of personal photographs, family, etc., have that as a separate account, which could be a private account, but your practice account should be an open, non-private account that anybody can access to and follow without having to take your permission. Your bio should have details of how to connect with you or a message button. Dr. Maitri said very clearly, and I reiterate, PPP, don't share with other patients or inquiries on Instagram. Prescriptions, other patients, contact patients, ask, can I speak to a patient who's undergone this surgery? No, you may not. And also don't talk about payment or payment details. Get them to the clinic, and that's when you talk. You have to complete the circle. Your Instagram has to have links to your website. Your website has to have a link to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and vice versa. You have to connect the circle so that everything organically goes and grows together, and you are accessible and reachable across multiple platforms. I think that's all about I had to say in Instagram and using images, and I'll stop sharing my screen and I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Dr. Akshay. As usual, last ball sixer.
That's why we called you
And
the.
one question which I have, like I think what Dr. Rituja also said about using the photos. So how do you make sure that, because I'm sure that you have millions of them, and how do you make sure that it's not being used by others?
Yeah, so Rituja, you want to take that?
You can't actually make sure that it's not used by others, because like he said in the consent, it is there that it can be shared, going forward by people who view your page or whatever. So like how he shared some patients, photos that were there in the other patient's clinic. So now this talk is being recorded on YouTube. So anyone who sees YouTube will see that their thing has been shared by these people on this platform. So there's nothing to stop that, but I would say the watermarks definitely go a big way and long way in preventing these issues, because even very senior surgeons have faced this issue. The other thing would be putting a disclaimer. I don't know how much that helps. Actually, a lot of people put the disclaimer that this is my patient, please do not reproduce. But of course there's no way to copyright these things on social media.
Because I think oculoplasty and squint are the most patients where you have the face and the eye. The rest are actually inside the eye. So I think, thank you.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
having a opaque watermark across a prominent part of the face, close to the eye, just below the nose, you have a watermark which is semi-transparent with your name, your website. that is works as a good barrier for people to screenshot and use later.
Dr.
Thank you.
Akshay, that was
Yes,
a very
Kalpana, madam.
informative talk. It was packed with so much of information.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mind-blowing. Wonderful. Lots of tips to carry forward. That shows your experience. Wonderful.
Dr. Akshay, I had one question. I've always been a big admirer of your perfect symmetry in your posts, the kind of pattern that you follow. And I've asked you this before and I'll ask it to you again. How do you frame the photographs and align them so perfectly? Because I know you travel a lot and you take in different places, but nevertheless, the lighting is the same, the angle is the same, the photo quality is the same. How do you standardize these photographs when you take the images?
So I it may be a little impractical for everybody, but I keep telling people a phone is for WhatsApp, a camera is for photographs. So I actually carry my DSLR everywhere I go. So that way, I know my magnification, my distance from the patient, and the settings of the camera are exactly going to be the same. And everywhere I go, I try to keep the patient in the same place, which is on the slit lamp chair, and use the overhead light at an angle. So I think even if we go and do that with our own phone, that's a good idea. If, especially for a squint surgeon, in one corner of your room, you can actually have a curtain or a paper background similar to what you see in a photography studio in place with one light at the back. And make sure every time you go click a patient in that same place, have an X on the floor where the patient stands and a stool where you sit to click the picture. So that way you'll be able to reproduce it. It takes a very, very concerted effort to be able to do that. But like I said, it bears fruit, because if you're able to see a same identical image in terms of everything taken once before surgery and 6 weeks after surgery, it does make an impact, not just on social media, but even in scientific presentations when you present. So using a camera would be my first recommendation. But yes, it's difficult because, if you want to share a case with someone, you have to plug it in, transfer it, as opposed to clicking it on your phone, where you can actually now create multiple folders with tags of diagnosis, patient names, and also share it. I think going forward, ease of transferring pictures from the camera to the phone, it's already here, but it's still a little bit cumbersome, is going to become even more seamless. And I think that's when most of us will take the leap forward and use cameras for photography.
Yeah. So do you have any discipline in shifting those photos, like you do it on a weekly basis and then you have this huge template how you save it?
I do it every Saturday, much to my wife's
Basically asking about the OCD.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to do therapy tonight, but yeah, I do it every Saturday. It is a task, and you have to just get yourself to do it because there's no other way.
Akshay can pull out photos in seconds. Like it's not even funny. You talk about something and in seconds the photo comes up. So he has some very good organization.
The filing system is that. Yeah, you should tell us about that. Maybe there's some tip there.
She's talking about photos in terms of social photos, not patient photos.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but even the
Ravi Shankar sir, would you like to add any comments, Ravi Shankar sir?
After
Yes. Let Prasanna finish.
Yes, Prasanna.
Actually, sir, even I also resonate with the other fellow viewers here. So just met you at transit and immediately you put photos of flight taking off, and that's very aesthetic. And how do you do it? There is an aesthetic thing to your photograph that I always keep admiring in Instagram, that you keep posting. And it's patience, or how do you do it, sir?
Yeah, I think it's just posting the picture. I don't know whether being colorblind helps, but I think it's on social media. At least for the patient posts, I create that on. So I'm very old school in creating the posts. I actually create the posts on PowerPoint and then export that as a JPEG, crop it to the size of a screen, and then send it to my phone and post it. So maybe that could be one of the reasons why, having a bigger platform to work on, like I've seen a lot of people who are able to make those social media posts on Canva on their phone or on some app on their phone. But the granularity, the finish, the kinds of font you want, the arrows, the animation, all of that may not come as smoothly if you were to make it on PowerPoint or Keynote and then export it to your phone. So that's one thing I like to do because it gives you more options to play
So
around.
do you travel with your hard disks, or how many hard disks do you have, sir, with you now?
No, I don't. I never
big-
travel with my hard disk. Traveling with your camera and your hard disk in the same bag is the biggest mistake. I've learned it the hard way. If you lose one, you lose everything. So hard disks are at home, and I can travel only with my camera and one hard disk backup. Yeah.
Prasna, it's like you asking how is Dhoni hitting a six. He'll say, "Ball just came, I swung the bat, it went for six."
Come on.
So
He's adding this colorblind
I think
also.
that's a skill which Akshay has. He's always been having it. Yes, yes, Ravi sir.
This is interesting. Ravi sir was about to ask something.
Dr. Akshanar Adibuliyana. Fantastic.
About to
Fantastic.
ask
And
something to Akshay, sir.
see, Prasanna's, I was asking you, do you carry a hard disk? Prasanna, the hardest disk does not need to carry a hard disk. So he himself is pretty hard. So see, his points are very clear. And what I learned and what most of us would have learned in his presentation is he just doesn't take on a single platform for his digital marketing. He utilizes multiple platforms. That's what we need to learn. See, everybody, each one of us will have certain things we are strong in. Certain people will be doing a WhatsApp media excellently. Certain people will be doing Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it is. You use multiple things, like a jack of all trades. And if you can master a couple of it, you can do well on social media. That's what I've learned, and that's what most of us would have learned with this. Akshay, you are wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And just one last thing I want to add.
Thank you, sir. And I almost, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite late. No, I was just going to say Facebook as a marketing tool, as a marketing platform is now, even in terms of their revenue and number of people reached is reducing. So I think if you're undecided about where to go, Instagram is the place to be rather than Facebook.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And we are almost reaching 10, and maybe some quick doubts or before I add some President, sir, for the certificate distribution. We do have a novel certificate distribution ceremony, virtual one in our TNOA webinar event. So if there is nothing more, we can move to the certificate distribution. Over to President, sir, Dr. Nirmal, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prasanna. And that was a wonderful program, folks. I learned a lot, very informative, and a lot of new tricks as well. I hope to use some of them. And a request for all of you, since you've been very professional and authentic in your presentations and being part of TNOA, I request your services for improving the social media part of TNOA. We do have a YouTube, and that is garnering good strength with each program. And our website is now being revamped. And there are other modalities to reach out to our members, Facebook, Insta, and we request you to go through the pages, social media pages of TNOA, and give your valuable inputs to improve that. Since Prasanna is also part of the website committee, and many of you being office bearers of the managing committee as well as the various committees formed, I request your inputs so that together we can improve the traction for TNOA as well. We learned a lot today, and thank you so much for all your time, expertise, and sharing your precious knowledge. I know this is not bookish knowledge where you can just study and give something, but it's all you've done practically and learned in the hard way, both with negative as well as positive comments. So thank you all so much for sharing your time and expertise. I will not name. So once I start naming, it will go on and on. But we have to close because I given a time limit of 10 p.m. to Prasanna from the wellness perspective. So earlier we closed the media, close watching the monitors. It's better we have a good night's sleep as well.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me start with the presentation of the certificates. So thank you, Dr. Kalpana, for being the chair for this program and sharing your expertise. Please continue to do your wonderful public health education videos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
I think Dr. Vanaja is not with us. Thank you, Dr. Vanaja. So this is your certificate. Prasanna will be sharing this with you. Next. Prasanna, can we move the slides?
Yeah. Sorry, sir. I just had a technical glitch.
Oh, okay.
Is the slides visible now, sir? Ravi sir.
Yeah, slides visible, but it's not moving.
Yeah. Now, sir. Ravi sir and Lalit sir. Yeah.
Not yet. I think it's freezed.
Just a moment. I'll just cut it and I'll open it.
You can. There's a lot of inputs from the senior ophthalmologist Ravi Shankar and Lalit.
Now is it visible, sir?
It is visible, but it's not moving.
Slides are not moving. You can just read out.
Yes.
I can just read
Now
out.
it is right.
We'll post it in the group. Yeah.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah. No, I think it's gone. I think Manjula is giving some hint to close the program. And so much to learn. No, Kalpana?
Exactly,
All this
exactly.
have never been part of our curriculum.
Yeah, it's been very widely adopted by all the patients and it has come to stay.
Sir, as the slides moving now,
We
sir.
have to
Yeah, keep clicking.
Moving. It's moving, Prasanna.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I think Lalit is also not with us. He just left. Thank you, Lalit, in spite of your busy schedule, for joining the TNOA program. And Dr. Dhruval, that was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of inputs from your presentation. Thank you so much. And Dr. Vinod, as usual, crisp. I think.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinod, for
Thank you, sir.
sharing your expertise. And Shruti, always a very crisp and clear presentation. And thank you so much for joining us and sharing. Dr. Shahban Sethi, thank you for your wonderful presentation. Next, Dr. Kuheli. I think during the entire presentation, I went and saw most of your social media pages and become the follower as well. So hopefully to learn a lot from all of you. And Dr. Maitri, that was our awesome presentation. And so in regional language, I think that makes a lot of sense to connect with our patients. So thank you. And Akshay, a wonderful presentation again. So we heard a lot of your presentation in oculoplasty and the journal presentation. This is yet another wonderful presentation on using the images. Thank you. Yeah, next. Okay, so this is like giving the cup to the captain. Thank you, Nishant.
Thank you, sir.
Carrying all this program with dynamism and flavor. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sanna, again, so the whole credit goes to you. I've given him a target, and hopefully this year time also he didn't miss the target. So thank you, Prasanna. Hopefully we should reach 6,000, and I've also reached my 6,000 steps on the step count.
That's the idea, sir.
So there is a parallel challenge going on in the wellness committee. So between the two very dynamic and active committee, TNOA Wellness Committee and TNOA Your Team, so there is a step count challenge going on in the Wellness Committee. So everyone has to complete at least 3,000 steps per day. So there are 5 teams doing this, and we have to complete that before the 10 p.m. So most of us, I think, in the step count challenge are still walking. So that's a good thing, and even the wellness events are crossing the 1,000 hit marks. So good challenge for you, Prasanna. So now you have to raise the bar. So thank you, and thank you, Dr. Daivatsha, for your wonderful inputs during the program, and also Dr. Aditya Sethi. So Dr. Karthikeyan, thanks for moderating it so well. I hope you are back to TNOA, and hope Pondi is comfortable for you. Thank you, Karthi.
Thank you,
And
sir.
thank you, Rituja Thomas. So you have a very famous surname. So you have kept up to that name. So thank you for your wonderful insights.
Thank you, sir.
Is that all? Okay, so thank you for joining us. I request Nishant and Prasanna to take it forward and propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah, the other certificates, I think there was a technical glitch. Dr. Aditya Varman, Dr. Deep
Okay.
Das.
Thank you, Aditya. I remember you coming for a digital marketing workshop with us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
It
sharing
all
your.
started there for me.
Oh, very good. Nice that you've taken it forward. So thank you for your time and joining us for this program.
My pleasure, sir.
Dr. Deep Das and Dr. Rahul, sir, joining us from AIMS, New Delhi.
Okay. Thank you, Deep Das and Rahul Kumar Bafna. Thank you all so much for sharing your time. And Anugrah. So otherwise, Prasanna won't get dinner. So thank you for the. So this is your certificate. Thank you for your time and sharing Prasanna's time with us. So thank you so much for that also. And thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you. Yeah, I've just joined back.
So without much delay, sir, and sir has already proposed the vote of thanks to all. Once again, extending the thanks to all the TNOA office bearers and all the chair, co-chair, SO panel and the O panel of today. And a big shout out to Dr. Karthik actually. So Dr. Karthik has been a backbone of this particular. So every task force, we have 6 members, and Karthik has been the backbone in helping us, me and Nishant sir, getting the CVs, the speakers ready. And thank you, Karthik, for the wonderful back show. And it's a team effort. And Karthi has
That's why he
been
has
one of
come
the
from AIMS to Pondi within our
Pondi,
area.
yeah. And 2 more people is one is Numerotech for the support that they are always giving us on technical frontier. And our flyers are always unique. And Mr. Bala, who always takes care of our flyers. So without that, we'll not be standing between you and dinner. And thank you all. Thank you once again. Until next time, let us not dissolve the group. We'll share the statistics. We'll also post the next 2 events of TNOA Youth Task Force. Thank you,
And a
President, and
round
thank
of
you, dear
applause
all.
to Prasanna for initiating and keeping us together and
Yes, thank you.
finally
And
making it happen.
just a final
Thank you.
note,
Thank
we'll
you.
be sharing the link. So all of you, please share in your social media and tag us and TNOA as well for giving this opportunity. Sir, I think if they all share it in their social media and tag TNOA, I think that is more than enough.
Yeah, that's what we are looking for.
Angela, ma'am, we can go out of live.
Okay, doctor. I'll stop the stream.
Yeah, we can stop.
One suggestion is